Murray.
Hey, yo. 1, 2.
.704 Charlotte Bounce Show on a Wednesday, man. Welcome everybody for coming into the show, man. Everybody that will join, and be who we are, man. Number one show for the fans, by the fans. We are the Carolina Panthers 2025. A lot of moves been made in free agency, and now we're trying to put together a team that can win ball games, get us back to winning football. We've seen them do things on the defensive line. We've seen them do things at the corner, re-signing J.C. Horn. I think there's things that we need to work on with the linebacker. And as of late, the news is at the safety position. And Carolina, we only came in with 2 safeties and one that's probably going to be on the special teams that we just signed. We signed Morig, an animal, a beast, out of Las Vegas to join us, and now he's a Panther. So we must address that position. The word in itself, a safety, something that protects, in this case, keeping guys accountable deep and that extra coverage for the DBs. So there's no flashover, man, to keep guys out of the end zone. 704 show, Charlotte Bounce Show live tonight. Let's get it, man. Before we get into all of this, I got the best staff in the world, man, over here at the 704 Charlotte Bounce Show. Most knowledgeable. I put it out there. I stand on that. It ain't no clap. It just is what it is, man. If you don't feel that way about yourself, then who would you feel that way about? Look, man, up first with the 704 Charlotte Bound Show. You can catch my man on the show, a word edgewise, on the 704 Charlotte Bound Show. Y'all, welcome to the show. My man Edge is in the building.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? I ain't got no crazy takes. I ain't got no crazy sayings. I'm just giving everything all to you, hot flash and ready to go.
Yeah, man. We got the Prowling veteran. We got Nick up in here in the building, man. Nick, what up?
What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good, everybody?
Mm-hmm. Last but not least, man, first lady of the show, man. The Tradacaster, Aries Claire is in here.
I almost said word just to
Man, I knew
fuck
you
with
were going to say
Twan.
that. Yeah. It ain't messing with me.
Oh, it
You
was
know,
funny last time.
it's just funny.
Exactly. What's going on, everybody?
Yeah, dope, man. Look. The reason why I decided to pull this beat out that I made is the part of the clip where Michael Jackson says nobody's gonna save you. You know what I'm saying? And nobody's gonna save the Panthers. We got to do it ourselves. And since we're talking about safeties tonight, you know, nobody's gonna save these other teams that we got to play against. You know what I'm saying? So, we need that guy to do just that, man. You know what I'm saying? And that save us from getting scored on in the way that he does. We'll talk about John Blackmon tonight, man, and discuss other things that's going on in the Panthers world. So let's get started. Carolina Panthers just took a visit with a player by the name of John Blackmon, a safety out of the Indianapolis Colts. He was college, came out of Utah. People said he was. I said he was going to be a steal in the NFL when he came in third round, selected by the Colts. And I've heard some pretty decent things about the guy. I did my homework on him, and I wasn't able to find a whole lot of video on him. You know what I'm saying? Just old stuff from 4 years ago when he got here. I looked at his stats, but I'm pretty sure everyone else has. So, I'm going to defer to the staff to start off with because I'm not really familiar with this guy. You know what I'm saying? To ask them, do they think it's a great idea if we go out and pick him up? And will he add something good to our team?
I'll take it first. Hey, look, I go first. So, look, just a quick thing about it is, I think what they're doing is looking at. So obviously we can't draft everything
What's
in the
up, bro?
draft. So I think that I think what they're looking at is some bodies that they can bring in that hopefully can just be good rotational pieces. And then obviously they're still trying to put some camp bodies together. And then at the end of the day, you still got to have 16 people. We don't have to have 16, but you still like to have 16 people on your practice squad.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't foresee. I don't know about Blackman. I did see that Blackman does play on the
He wants some real money. Well, it may not be
oh,
real compared to other positions, but I think it was 24 million.
oh no, oh shoot. I don't know if they're gonna bring him in for no real
Bro.
money then. 24
Well,
million for what?
well, that's his. Well,
Yeah,
as of right now, that's his market value right now at 3
yeah.
years, $24 million,
Oh, 20
an average salary of $8 million right now.
is he worth? I don't know if he's worth that. I don't know.
Well,
I mean there's not much to see. He's even looking at his stats, it's kind of underwhelming.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he's only
Yeah.
been injured twice. He's only been injured twice.
Then there's the injury factor, which Carolina seems to like getting guys that have an injury pass, bro.
Well, Twan. He's only been injured. He's only been injured twice, 2021 and 2023. He was
Only.
he was healthy he was fully healthy for 2024. He played all 17. He played all freaking 16 games in 2024.
Let me say something. Let me say something and tell me how this sounds to you. He's only been injured twice in the 4 years that he's been here.
That's half the time.
Well, no, because out of 66 games, he started 62. Out of 66 games, he only started 62.
So you need to rephrase what you're saying. He's only missed 2 games out of 62. You know, I mean, when you said injured, people are thinking like he was out for a significant amount of time.
No, okay. Look, the length amount of time he was only out in 2023. He was only out for week 17, week 18. That was his shoulder, and that was in 2023. And in 2021, he was out from week 7 to week 18 with an Achilles. That was the only major injury was the Achilles. After that, it was a bum shoulder. It was a bum shoulder for 1 week. He's only out for 2. All of 2024, he was fully healthy. He started all 18 games. So he's coming off of a season fully healthy, no problems. So you can't just say, "Oh, all we sign is hurt. All we sign is hurt players." He came back the next year and played fully healthy. Zero
Bro, I'm
problems.
just saying you explained it wrong, bro.
Yeah, you got it. You made it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't. Listen.
When you
I
said injured
assume.
twice,
Go ahead.
you got
Go
it.
ahead. Oh, I'm just saying. I assume that they're gonna sign that they're going to draft one anyway. So I'm okay. I'm okay with it. I mean, but I don't know if they're gonna bring him in.
I think with the market value thing, I wouldn't look too much into that. Because I mean, we could also easily give him just a 1-year deal, which I don't think we're going to give him a 1-year deal, to be honest with you. That's just because our wide receiver room, there's 3 people or 3
No,
guys. Dear
man.
Jesus.
Nick,
Are you walking down the side of the highway?
be at the mute.
Yeah, we're not going to do this. He's not going to be a 1 year. I don't think any safety we sign is going to be a 1-year deal kind of thing. And it's because we are literally like flipping our safety room over and essentially starting from scratch. I know there's a lot of people who really liked what Damani Richardson did when he did come in, but I think people need to understand that Damani Richardson, if I remember correctly, was an undrafted free agent. Kind of like Coker, neither one of those guys were really meant to be starters on this team. He's going to get a shot to fight for it, definitely, because our depth chart at safety is, I mean, it's almost like, can't even call it musical chairs, but I mean, it is so empty that there's not much competition in that room. Bringing in a Julian Blackmon, he would be a good complement to Trey Morig. We'll start right there, if anything. Trey Morig has, he's known for being, very adept against the run. That's what he's known for. He had a very nice run defense grade for someone who's in the safety position. Julian Blackmon is actually the exact opposite, where his run defense grade is lower, but he's got a fantastic coverage grade, which would make him a perfect complement to Trayvon Morig. That's why I'm kind of hoping for him, that in his age at 26 years old. Marcus Williams was an additional guy that we also brought in today, who was a former Saint and just finished a stint, I believe, with the Ravens. So he is older. I think he's 29 right now. So I think by the time he starts, he'll be 30. I believe I have that right. He's definitely not someone who we're going to sign to a long-term deal, I would imagine. But I think if you're really trying to get guys in here to set a base to see really what you're going to need to get in the draft, I think signing a Julian Blackmon would be a better way to go than getting, an older vet in Marcus Williams. I would just keep to the path that you've been on with a lot of these free agent signings, keeping them between the ages of like 24 and 28. But to me, I mean, he's more complimentary, I guess is what I'm saying. I think Marcus Williams, if I remember correctly, he's definitely more strong safety, and that's what they've bought Trayvon Morig in here to be, if I'm not mistaken. So you would kind of be battling against each other when it comes to that, but Julian Blackmon is a compliment to him. So that's just kind of where I'm at with it. You need somebody to complement him. It's great that we're trying to fix the run defense aspect, but we can't have every position where all the depth is nothing but run defense and we just kind of forget about the pass. I know we sucked at the run, but we can't have every depth piece be devoted to the run. So
No.
Julian Blackmon is kind of, that's when I saw that we were bringing him in, I was actually a little bit happy because I've been kind of like cheering for that to happen for a while now, just kind of under the radar, because I didn't know after the signing of Nick Scott if we'd even bring someone else in, because I thought this was just them trying to put band-aids on something. But if this is a serious thing and they're actually wanting to bring in multiple guys to still add to that safety room, then nothing against Marcus Williams, but to me, they brought the next best safety in who is available, if not the best safety who is available now currently.
So here's questions that I ask myself when we go out and get new people. And if anybody wants to jump on any of these questions, is it? So we address, you know what I'm saying, what's his injury history look like? Why hasn't another team picked him up so far? Why is he still around? You know what I'm saying? Well, that coincides with what I just said. Well, how is he still around? You know, and no other team, you know, would to fight for him like that. The money issue, you know what I'm saying? Is this guy really going to want what they say that he's set up to be? And you know, is Carolina going to pay that? I don't think it's going to be a mistake to pay that. You know what I'm saying? Opposed to, I think going like Claire said, you know, the other guy that you know, I agree, he may be more of a comp player with Morg out there, because chemistry is everything, man. You know what I'm saying? Is, you know, all these questions, you know, about this guy. You know what I'm saying? But the main question for me is why nobody jumped at him so far. You know what I'm saying? And the last question, but not least, is if he's so good, then why are the Colts letting him go? Why aren't they trying to resign him?
It can definitely be dealing with
We
cap
gotta
space
ask
issues.
these questions. Yeah.
Well, it can always be cap space issues. Always be looking at like what they're trying to bring in and what they're trying to do as well. Because as of right now, the Colts are sitting at $19 million for cap space right now, as of right now, for total team cap space. They're sitting at that for right now. And if anything, I mean, they're just probably just trying to open up more room for somebody else to come through, you know, or they're trying to see if, or maybe it's just a simple fact that, you know, yeah, they released him, but the Colts can always bring him back if they can't get nothing else out of it. They can easily bring him back in and give him a contract that he wants, you know, or maybe it's one of those things where it's like, hey, I got this. The Colts figure out what it is. Hey, we'll match it. Bada bing, bada boom.
Where's the
I know it's
Colts? Where's the Colts picking at?
as of right now,
14.
picking at 14 right now.
Yeah, so D Cash might have, you know, you may have a great point. He said maybe the Colts are ready to snatch up Nickel and Rory, you know.
I mean, he could definitely fall right there. He can definitely fall there.
What's see, my question even with that is this. It's hard for teams to let go guys that they know are really good. You know what I'm saying? Like you try to find
Mhm.
the money for those guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it must be something with the Colts is like, okay, so because if they're gonna turn around and go get, you know, Rory, then they're basically saying, look, I think Rory is gonna be better than him. And we don't want to spend more money on this guy because he ain't it. And one of the things
Well,
that we talked about with the
Well,
Carolina Panthers that we keep bringing up and we keep saying is why does Carolina keep going out and picking up other people's trash up and bringing it to our team?
mhm. I
That's a
mean,
real question.
stats
I mean, like we
wise,
can't keep talking around it. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, what I'm trying to project is this. And Claire and as y'all heard me say this for years, I'm sick. That I'm tired of the thing with Carolina fans is this is just if a guy did the minimum at his old team, we think because he puts on that black and blue uniform that he's gonna be all world with us.
I mean, yeah, that's
so the
true.
only the only counter I have to this, and this could be, I mean, I could be talking out of my ass when I say this, but I think if you look at what the Colts have done in free agency, um, they've already they have already paid money and given money to Julian Blackmon's replacement, which was Cameron Bynum.
Mm-hmm.
And they've already got a safety who, like, they've got a safety there who's like our Mo rig, which is Nick Cross. So I think the fact that Julian Blackmon has had 2 injury stints at the very end of 2023 when he was looking to get paid, is when he had a shoulder injury that pretty much ended his season. And it was also late in the year, which I guess was a good thing. But
Yeah.
he was only brought back for 1 year, and it was for like a minimum of like $3 or $4 million total. He played healthy,
Yeah.
but I think it's one of those things, Twan, to your question with why hasn't he been picked up. I think another part of it, if anyone else also remembers, the Colts did have a defensive coordinator change. They have Lou, what's his name? Lou Anu.
That's
I
true.
can't pronounce. So I think part of it was coaching change. They got a guy there in Nick Cross who is younger. They just brought in a Cameron Bynum who is, he does have better statistics and everything. For Julian Blackmon, I just think it was part of a coaching change too, where it's like, we're just going to move on from you. We're going in a different direction. It happens to players all the time. It doesn't mean that he
And
can't do well in another system. It also doesn't mean that he can't revive his career. Am I saying that that's where he should be by coming here? Not necessarily, but at the same time, the Panthers, I hate to say it, y'all, we are also not in the market to be sitting here going, well, we've got 3 safeties, but because you're the sloppy seconds of another team, we shouldn't even be giving you a second look because no one else is signing you. That's kind of crazy right now. I'm
Well,
just
that's
being
that.
honest.
Well, that's
So,
what I was. That's what I was going to. I love when we in a very healthy way challenge each other, and that's where I was going to go. Like, you're totally correct with the uh the DC change, but my thing is, why has no team picked him up thus far? Why didn't people go after him thus far? You know,
maybe people are trying to figure out their cap situation. Some teams are
I
trying to figure
know.
out what
Notice
what, what, what
that
people where people are gonna fall at in the draft. I mean,
mm-mm. But
you also got to look at it like like that, and it may just sometimes be, the contract, like what can we
the
afford
contract
to
has
pay
nothing
him,
to do
knowing
with
that
it.
no,
I
I know this
I,
guy going around
I
telling everybody
understand.
no.
So to counter what you're saying, Twan,
It's only
this,
been 2 teams to inquire about him, and we're one of them.
okay, and okay, so again, I think the best way to look at this also is what teams out there outside of us this season were in desperate need of a starting safety. That's the question you need to ask yourself, because if there's not been a need, then of course the top
I don't.
your top 5 safeties are going to be the only ones really taken.
I gotta be
And
honest with you. I don't know. I
right.
mean, it's not a
Yeah,
dig. It's because, like, I don't keep up with every team, and I don't know what every team's needs are.
right.
So I don't know.
But that's why we also can't sit here and also judge why has no one else taken him, because if the need for safety has not been high, then there would be the reason.
No, 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 Claire. That's a real question. I mean, we can't question it. You're saying that we can't even question it. We can't question it. It's a real thing. It's not like something made up. I mean, it's a real thing. I guarantee you, when he sit down with if he was to sit down and we signed him with Tillis and them, I guarantee you Tillis and them would remind him, you're not in big demand, and therefore I'm not giving you what you want.
And we're probably not going to if we do.
Oh,
That's why I started out the beginning statement I said is, do not look at his projected value. At this point in the game, looking at what Sport Track says is pointless. It is. So has
Yeah,
Julian
so I
Blackmon
just
been
want to.
has he been a lockdown type of safety? Has he been a top safety or whatever? No. But is he someone who we could add for depth? Is he someone who could come in here and compete for a starting job against our current room? Yes. So
Ed said he started the last 4 years, only missed 2 games. So what makes you think a player like that is going to come be somebody's backup if he started every game of his career except 2, Claire?
I don't think he started. I don't think he started
I wouldn't,
every year
I
because
wouldn't do that. He started in his
I
rookie year. What happened?
Bro, I literally just had it. I literally just looked it up, bro.
If he didn't miss for 2 games, I mean,
He literally started every single he 16 games. He started every single game. He was 16-16. 2023, he was 15-15. All right. He only missed that 1 week in 2023
Zulu King, we ain't signed him yet.
for a shoulder. That was it.
See?
The major injury that he had was an Achilles in 2021. But after that, he was starting every single game.
well, look,
So you
I
say
get what y'all saying.
Can't put the injury part on. Can't put the injury part on.
I get what y'all was saying, but the thing about it is that what Claire is saying makes sense. Makes 100% sense, more sense than thinking about it the other
I'm saying
way.
it doesn't.
And the only reason, look, no. This is what I'm saying. Because only 2
You got,
safeties
hey, but you got a lot
have
of
come off the
wind
board
behind you.
like that. No, I was walking. Hey, so like all I was saying is that there's only 2 safeties that really come off the board and got paid, and that's the 2 safety needed teams was Morig, and then Javon Holland went to New York. And New York, you forgot, New York lost Xavier McKinney last year.
Yep.
So
Sure did.
So they were safety needy because they probably had it was probably bad. It was probably bad last year.
So look, check this out. Hey, if you guys ain't been able to guess so far, I know Claire over here like, damn it, Twan. I'm being contrarian today, bro, with this guy. And I'm just asking the questions that
well, take your blue shirt back. Take your blue shirt off.
Blue
Stop
shirt. Yeah, I'm blue shirt Twan today.
Take your blue shirt off. Stop.
Check this out. Check this
Lord
out.
help us.
That's nice, Nick. I mean, I'm with Edge on this. That's nice, man. But okay, so let me ask Edge, you think out of 32 teams, only 2 needed a safety? When we see team after team get scorched over the top?
Shit, a lot of teams.
It's no way only 2 teams needed a safety.
Yeah, Twan, but what I'm saying is I'm not saying only 2 teams needed a safety. Only 2 teams were willing to pay a safety right now, knowing that this draft has a bunch of safeties in it that could be potential starters.
A bunch of them?
We can at least name 10 that could be potential starters. At least 10.
I can't name 10. I can name 5. You said starters. I can name 10. I can name 5 and 5.
I said potential. I said potential starters. I didn't say they will start day one. I said potential.
I got 4. I can name 4. Yeah.
Okay, at the end of the day, what is your issues with Julian Blackmon, Twan?
I don't know.
Outside of why has nobody else jumped on him and yet we have?
I don't have an issue with him yet. I told y'all, I'm going to be the contrarian today with that situation because I don't know a whole lot about him, which is why I deferred. So since I deferred, I'm just asking you guys questions that a Panthers fan that's not familiar with him would ask. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to get upset with anybody for asking a question because if the question is logical, it's logical. People always want to know why exactly did we pick a guy up? The first thing I do that I'm pretty sure most people do is when you're not familiar with a guy, what do? We go right to YouTube to look for his highlights, but then we go to articles to see what people said about him. I couldn't even find a lot of stuff on this guy. All his highlights on YouTube are from 2000. From 2000.
From 2000?
Yeah, 4 years ago.
That would be 2021.
I'm sorry, it's 2020.
I was about to say, in the year 2000, he was probably 4 years old.
You knew what I meant.
I'm like,
so those must be some killer damn highlights at 4 years old playing in the NFL.
For real, mate. For real, bro. God damn.
So I will come back at you, Mr. Twandon the Contrarian, to say that sometimes, and we've seen it. Hell, we saw it on our own team this year, y'all. Maybe, like I've already told you, they've got Nick Cross there, and they just brought in Cameron Bynum. They've gone through a coaching change. They've got a new DC. So if he started every game, it could have been maybe he just was not a true scheme fit to what they were trying to do. It happens. They draft guys, they think it's going to work, and it doesn't work out. It happens. My example is in our own damn safety room. Ajiro Evero had a decently, if not, I think it was at one point top 10 ranked defense when he was with the Broncos.
Ooh, I got you on that one, Claire. You just said something that really put you in the spindle. Because listen, we had some trash safeties last year, right? And then we got one of our safeties got picked up before this guy got picked up.
I
And our
love how that
safeties
was
were
not my
trash.
point. I love how that was my point. That was not my point
No,
whatsoever. But
you just
continue.
reminded me of something. You just reminded me of something when you brought it up.
Okay, so Jordan Fuller was somebody that we had on this team. We brought him in because we saw who Jordan Fuller when he was with the Rams. He did have a brief stint with the Broncos too, as well, if I remember correctly, and he did well.
Mm-hmm.
Under the same guy, pretty much, he comes here and looks like crap. Now, either it's because it's Evero or because whatever he was doing there and then came here from be it personnel or scheme or both, things just did not work out for Jordan Fuller. He's now in Atlanta. There are guys that end up not working out due to scheme. Maybe that is what's going on with Julian Blackmon. I don't know. I'm not going to defend the kid. I'm not exactly saying that. But if he's healthy and if he can complement Trayvon Moehrig, I've looked at his PFF stuff. People have been posting it everywhere. He's got a good coverage grade for pass coverage. So if you're looking at someone who, and I don't think we're going to have to pay him $24 million. I really don't think that that's going to be something that we're going to throw his way. But if it's somebody who can add to the room and be a complementary piece, potentially start at that free safety position, I'm in the mode where it's like, why not? Especially if it's adding to your room and not taking anything away from your room. So if it's adding to the room and it adds competition, I don't see anything wrong with it, considering, need I remind you, we were the 32nd ranked historically bad defense last year. So at this point, anything we add could not make it much fucking worse. So that's where I'm at.
True.
I agree with that 100%.
All right, so NFL's Ian Rappaport, reports the Panthers are hosting former coach Julian Blackmon for a free agent visit on Monday. Today, Blackmon 26 was a three-star Utah and earned second team All-American honors in 2019. The coach selected him with an 85 pick in the third round of 2020 NFL draft. He said he signed for 4 years. And wait for the issue that I've been talking about within this paragraph. He signed for 4 years, $4.6 million contract, including a $926,000 signing bonus, and playing out of his final year of the deal. Bringing back up what Ed said earlier. Ed said he played for 4 years as well, missed 2 games, whatever. He's supposed to be decent, good, or whatever. But look at the very next line. Blackmon re-signed with the coach. This would take out Claire's theory of new DC, because it was the same DC. He re-signed with the coach on a 1-year deal for 2024 season. Why would the coach, or a guy who's that good at safety, why would the coach only sign up for 1 year if he did great work for them for 4? When have the last time you guys seen somebody who's good in 4 years and a team only signed up for 1? Now, break that one down.
I just want to know who on this panel jumped up and said he was great or good or all elite or something like that. I just want to know who said it.
Well, no, don't get in your feelings. I didn't say nobody on the panel. I said everything I read, and so a lot of things I've been saying, people reporting on, and different things saying, oh, he's pretty decent. I mean, there's some called Twitter, and it's got Panthers fans on there saying, oh, this guy was a steal, whatever, we're gonna get from him. I didn't say nobody on the panel.
Okay, so what?
It's just a real that we're not gonna sit and act like that's not real. Blackman re-signed with the coach for 1 year. That means they didn't believe in him. So my only question is the same question I asked from the beginning. Are we going to try to bring a guy in that teams didn't want? And is that not? We've done that in the past all the time. Kitty said it earlier. Said the Panthers do this all the time. We know this. My man D Cash, put in here. I wish we go get a safety out the draft and not take somebody else's trash while the other team rebuild with the new one. Then my man said, sounds like he's reliable, but he ain't changing no game. I need a game changer. I can name 5 safeties I'll take in the draft over this dude. All I'm asking is the question.
And I feel like we've all answered. I don't know how else to better answer your question. All I've said is that he is a good complement for the current one that we have at starting at strong safety. We are going to get another safety in the draft regardless of what we do with this dude anyway. So unless someone else wants to jump in and say something, I don't know how else more to say what I've already said.
Are we? Nick? Edge?
I believe we're going to get another set. I believe we're going to get another safety because looking at the safeties,
we've got 3 safeties. Even if we signed another one, we're going to rock with. We're going to walk with a guy who was signed for special teams, an undrafted rookie, and Trayvon Moehrig.
No, that's not going to happen. No, we're definitely going to draft another safety.
There's going to be somebody.
Yeah.
For all we know, this could just be a matter of we're crossing our T's and dotting our I's. We're doing our due diligence. We know we need another safety. We're going to look at the other guys that are out here. And if nothing works out and if nothing hits, then yeah, we are going to draft a safety. But I also think potentially if we don't sign another free agent safety, we are probably going to draft more than one safety. There is potential for that. I could be wrong. Wouldn't be the first time I'm wrong. But I think if you've got someone who you can bring in.
Well, Claire, look, I'm not saying what I'm saying to prove you wrong. I'm not trying to debate you on this. I'm just trying to raise questions for the people listening. You know what I'm saying? Am I right when I say a lot of Panthers think guys are going to change when they come to us?
Yeah, especially if it's the big.
Come on, Claire. That's a real thing.
Especially if it's a big name, then yeah, of course.
Okay, and I guess what I'm saying is again, unless your questions are rhetorical, I don't know how else better to answer them.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you one more time. Do you know of Panthers fans of all your years of being a Panther who think when a guy comes to us after being mediocre somewhere else that he's going to be somehow better with us?
Yeah, but Twan, name a team with a fan base who doesn't think that. Let me know.
Okay,
can I say something?
What I'm trying to get us out of the habit of doing, and no, I'm not going to be able to accomplish this with every fan, is we got to stop thinking like this.
Well, then,
people's trash.
But here's my thing, Twan. There is always in every fan base going to be either if it's a small group or if it's the entirety of it, who the moment they put on their colors, they are going to go crazy. It's part of their fandom. They're going to fan how they want to fan. So in my opinion, outside of telling you about Julian Blackmon, things that I just basically know about what the Colts have done in free agency and his brief time, I can't say brief time, but his time there. And he had, one brief extra little stint because he signed that free agent contract, which, as we all know, that is called a prove it contract for albeit what it is. So if he didn't prove it to them, he hit the market. Otherwise, they would have signed him to another deal. So I get your point. There's also a reason why we haven't jumped on him until now. So like I said, I think this is just the Panthers crossing their T's and dotting their I's, doing their due diligence. And if they bring him in, all we can do is say, I hope it works out.
See,
And
I
if they
want to
don't,
yell.
then they will, then yell, Twine. Shit.
Carolina Panthers. It's not due diligence.
How
People
do
in
you
the front
know it's
office.
not due diligence?
People in the front office. It's not a due diligence for you to go get a guy that ain't gonna make us better. So don't get him at all. I think Blackmon is a bad sign if y'all thinking about signing him, bro. Don't get him if it's for due diligence. Only get him because you think he's gonna be good and contribute to us.
I didn't say they
Due
were going to
diligence
sign him
us.
for due diligence.
I
I
didn't say
said
you. I said Carolina Panthers. If you guys plan on signing this man for due diligence, or you think he's going to be some type of depth, but not really contribute, then don't do it. Now, I know they ain't going to listen to me or any of us, but it's bad. I'm tired of seeing Carolina year after year, after year, after year, after year, after year, picking up guys that are trash because that's the best thing that we can do or whatever. Just build your team through the draft then. Stop picking up bums. If
so
this guy
then
only signed a 1 year deal from a 4 year team that he was on, and they only signed him for 1 year, and now they ain't bringing them back for whatever reason, then that's a bad sign. And no other team else is out here offering for him.
Let me say this though, Twan. So what you're saying, what I'm getting at
And that has nothing to
out of
do with Claire, bro.
everything that
I
you're
mean, all
saying.
I was saying as far as due diligence was them just going through who is left. That's all I was saying. They
Okay.
they might have just done this just to see what their options were. And they could sign neither of them and just go into the draft. I don't know. This could just
Let me
literally be them doing due diligence. Is just
let me say
going
this.
through and seeing what's out there. That's it. That's all this could
Let me
literally be.
Okay.
I want to give you the perfect example. Let me give you a perfect example where somebody in another scheme is a baller. His name's Zach Bond. This happened last year. He was somebody else's trash, and now he's the best linebacker in the NFL this year. Let's stop this. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen all the time, but you can't say it won't happen. We just watched it happen last year.
Here we go, man. You guys doing the wishing on the star shit, where you find 1 or 2 situations where it's happened, and then you think that's going to apply to us. Have you seen our history? Have you seen our luck? Have you seen
But you
I,
our
can't.
luck?
I mean, needless to say, unless anyone wants to be, unless anyone wants to try to sit here and make it seem like they knew. Let me ask y'all on the panel or anyone in the chat.
Sorry,
And
Claire. Let me say something that Kitty said too, because it did make sense. He said maybe they're trying to free up cap space for another quarterback, because I don't think their fan base is keen on AR after he tapped out. And then she also said we all outraged over it. Twan, moonshine helps. They ain't gonna make me drink, but we're over the bum signings, man. Just go through the draft if you're gonna do anything, and then just let those guys get good.
we have way
But you
too many
can't.
goddamn holes to
You,
not going into
Oh,
free agency.
are we winning the Super Bowl next year?
well,
Nope.
No.
Twan, let me ask you this.
We ain't got
Let
number
me ask,
time.
let me ask you this. But we need 16 bodies for the practice squad also. Hmm.
Yep.
Some of these dudes could end up on the practice squad. Like,
That's what you pick them bums up for, to put them out there.
then what is there to cry about?
A guy that's asking for 28 million, whether he gets it or not, does not consider himself a
Well,
bum, nor does
no,
his
no,
agent.
We don't know
not
that's
ask
what
for
he's
28
asking
million.
for.
That's his market. That's
He
his market value. His
he's
market value
he's
Exactly.
is
he
He
he's
ain't gonna
specific.
take a back door to just anybody, bro. I mean, that's his market value.
But Twan, you want to talk about bums and everything? We have a perfect example of that. Jeremy Chin. Some of us thought he was a bum. Some of us thought he was a bum on our goddamn freaking defensive scheme and everything, and ever never used him right. Then yet he goes to the Commanders and shows the fuck out.
Yeah, he ain't show out.
So was
Cut
he
it
a
out.
Wait a
bum?
I was
minute.
gonna say I
He didn't
wouldn't
show
call it
out.
showing out
He
Because
was
because
a
because if
little
that
bit
was the
better over
He
case,
didn't.
there.
He didn't show
hey,
out, but he got over 100 tackles.
okay,
Yeah,
that's
so
the but
So
that's the same thing. That's the same thing that he was doing on our team. But the
okay,
issue is this: they wanted a free safety out of him. He's still getting cooked in coverage.
yeah.
my
Go ahead, Claire.
so back to my original point to kind of we'll talk about Jeremy Chin's partner who went with him over to the Commanders. So Frankie Louvu is someone that a lot of people were hoping that Carolina would bring back, correct? Yes? Why?
Yep, it
Why?
was good.
He was good, right? Now, I want everybody, and don't be assholes about this. Don't be an asshole when I ask this. Prior to him coming here, did y'all know who the fuck Frankie Louvu was?
I
I
did.
didn't.
He never was given the opportunity to start like that. So how did we know he was going to be good?
I did when he was with the
And,
Jets.
and Twan, how did you know anything about Frankie Louvu? What did he do that made him stick out to you?
Where am I from? So I'm still used to watching Giants and Jets games. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, this dude right here is a monster. So when we picked him up, man, if you guys can go back there, when we picked Louvu up, people was like, who is Louvu, man? I did a whole show on Louvu. You know, telling people like we are getting a steal out of this guy, man. This guy right here hunts. To me, one of the things I said, and you'll probably try to use this with the safety with Blackmon, as I said, man, the Jets did not know what they had. And then when he came over here balling, it wasn't with Evero. And the reason why we don't have Louvu no more, even though we wanted to keep him, is because Louvu didn't want to play for Evero no more. He said,
He balled
I
out.
want
Balled out with Evero too. So what are you talking about?
he,
He balled
he
out.
for real though.
didn't look as good. He didn't look as good with Evero.
The team wasn't as good. He still got over 100 tackles that year. Dwayne, you got to
Okay,
stop
so
that, man. You can't.
no, 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 no,
He's
no, no,
And
no, 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 no.
and
I don't say
plus
nothing.
and plus one, he said that he wanted to play with Dan Quinn. All right, when Dan Quinn got a head coaching job, he said he wanted to play with him.
He also made it known he didn't want to come back and play for Evero. Man, the real story is the Carolina tried to call him and offer him more money when this man was on a jet already on his way to Washington. And when he did finally get the message on that, he declined. He declined. And so what Nick is saying is, like all this, like he didn't ball out under Evero. He took some steps back under Evero. He balled out in Washington. Now you're gonna say ball out, then take his best moments. His best moments was in Washington. Chin didn't want to play for Evero no more either. And from the way it looked this past year, like I don't need to say it. Y'all know the stats. Technically, he's been the worst DC ever. So people can say, oh, he ain't have enough talent and blah, blah, blah. He was also a pig-headed DC as well. Worst defense ever. Ever. I don't know. I don't think people be getting in their head when we say things like ever. Like David Tepper is the worst owner in any sport ever, based on percentage of winning. Ever.
Let me say this, Twan. So you said he balled out. He had his best season in Washington, huh? That's what you said. Is that
Yep.
what you're saying? Are you sure?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, he had 125 tackles in Carolina.
Hey, Nick,
Last year in Carolina, and he had 99 tackles last year. 99 tackles last year.
I'm going by the eye test. I'm going by the eye test.
Well, your eye test is fucked up.
No, it's not. You just see. I hate people that only want to go by stats. Your eyes still work, bro. You saw him jump off the page.
You saw him jump off the page in Carolina.
Yeah, no, we don't see. What you're not gonna say in those tackles is where he had to tackle people at. Was tackles for loss, or was he tackling people up the field out there? They got a first down because he was in a bad position and he wasn't in the right position on the defense. That matters.
Well,
Twan, he had 125
he had the most
tackles
tackles
and
for loss
5.5
here.
sacks.
Twan, he had the most tackles for loss here than he had with Washington. He had 19 here in 2022. In 2024, he had 12. His best season was 2022. when it comes to tackles for loss. But when it comes to combined tackles, and when it comes to freaking combined tackles, he had 120. He had a freaking 125 the season before he went to Washington.
Look, man.
When he went to Washington, he had 99 combined.
You still got to put tackles into perspective. You still got to put tackles into perspective.
He just told you how many tackles. He said he had more tackles for a loss.
I don't care about
those seasons here.
I don't care about that. It's a difference if I tackle 50 people, if I tackle 50 times for a loss, or if I tackle 175 times after a man already got a first down. It's gonna both go down as tackles. Tackles for loss matter. That's why they got the stat. What type of tackle was it?
He just said he had more tackles for a loss in Carolina.
Tackles, so what part of it? Tackles after the first time still count.
Okay.
Twan, he just clearly said that he had more tackles for a loss in Carolina than he did while he was in Washington. He just said that.
Hold on. So
I don't know. The only thing that to y'all.
The only thing that he had better was he had 8 sacks. That's the only difference that he had. He had 8 sacks.
I don't know how else to explain that. And Ed said he played football. Ed should know. I don't know how else to explain that to you. It's the difference between 50 tackles for loss or 100 tackles. Say you tackle a guy 100 tackles. Like, you remember we had Reed on our team? And Reed had all those tackles? Claire, but where was he tackling guys at? 20 and 30 yards up the field. It wasn't for loss.
Okay, no, but Twan. Okay, I'm looking at this, unless I'm reading this completely incorrect. In Washington, he only had 10 tackles for a loss. That's what it says right here. In Carolina in 2023, he had 10.5, which is more. 2022, 17, which is more. And then his first year here, 11, which is also more. I'm confused. So if he had more tackles for loss in Carolina, we're not talking about tackles, not the 100s and not the whatever. What I'm reading as what I'm assuming this means for tackles for loss, he had more each year in Carolina than he did in Washington. So,
but somehow he was voted for the Pro Bowl in Washington and not in Carolina. Because my dumb football eyes and all the years that I played it are lying to me that this guy did not jump off the freaking screen because your eyes matter.
Twan, let me say this. I'm gonna say this. It's easy to make the Pro Bowl when you're playing next to Bobby Wagner. I'm just gonna say
ding 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 ding.
Hall of Fame freaking linebacker.
For that, man. Thomas Davis didn't go to the Pro Bowl. Thomas Davis didn't go to the Pro Bowl when Kuechly was next to him only 1 year. Ding 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 ding. What the hell does that mean?
I'm just saying that you make what I'm saying. They make mistakes in the Pro Bowl voting.
I don't hear no bell.
They make mistakes in Pro Bowl voting. It's like you can't count it off that. You just said it matters where he was tackling them at, and we just told you he had more tackles for loss in Carolina.
So when Kuechly was with us, Thomas Davis should have been in the Pro Bowl almost every year he was in it because he was just as good. He wasn't just as good, but he was that good. But he didn't. Kuechly never did, except his last year, make the Pro Bowl. And then again, once again, people want to pretend like in Kuechly's last year that he didn't look good. He didn't look good in his last year. That was the 1 year he didn't make the Pro Bowl. You know, he had all the little situations going on, the injuries, you know, the neck collar and all that. I mean, which is why the man resigned the next year. I mean, for whatever reason, we ain't gonna get into that. But I'm just letting the Edge know, look, bro, look, sometimes it don't matter who you play next to. You know what I'm saying? Louvu, out of all the years he played with Carolina, somehow, you know, I mean, he played next to some good guys when he was here. Washington wasn't. See, y'all want to make it seem like Louvu was only good because he played next to somebody. That ain't. I'm not saying Claire said that, but listen, that's not fair to him, bro. Louisville went to the Commanders and helped improve that team all by himself with the other guy. It wasn't just the other guy; it was both of them. Don't make it seem like Louisville was only good because of who he was next to. That's not fair, Nick.
I'm not saying it is, Joe, but at the
Well,
end of the day,
I bring up as one of your points.
but Bobby Wagner's a monster. He's still a
Oh,
monster.
Louisville is too.
But I mean, when you have two monsters next to each other, don't they seem to look a lot better?
So let me ask this question right here. When we had Hassan Reddick on the team, how many people was upset besides me that both of those guys didn't go to the Pro Bowl?
Oh, I was heated. I was heated.
And then, and I'll be real, Burns is my boy, but no way Burns should have went to the Pro Bowl that year over Reddick.
Dude, it's popularity vote. That's why nobody really cares. Did he make the all the
He was
what's
second.
called team?
He was second team All Pro.
All Pro team. Yeah.
Second team
All pros.
Pro. Okay.
All pros count more than Pro Bowl.
Oh, yeah, man. And Louisville was second team All Pro too. All Pro is All Pro, Nick. You can't damage that. You can't water that down. I don't care if it's first or second.
Saying, the Pro Bowl is a fan vote in the people from the. I don't really buy too much into because if people vote for one person over so much, that's who's gonna make it. It's not like the players vote, because I bet you the players vote, you would get the right guys every year.
The players do have a say so in the Pro Bowl. They do vote. It's just the fans do too. I think only the coaches vote for All Pro, right?
But I'm just telling you right now.
No, that's the writers. The writers write that one. Do that one.
Dude, I'm just saying this right now. He had his best seasons in Carolina. It's the numbers don't lie. And he jumped off the page. He jumped off the page while he was in Carolina. Nobody would have been saying we should keep Louisville, and crying when he left if he didn't jump off the page in Carolina.
He did jump off the page. He did jump off the page. So to me, he looked even better. Just because you got less tackles, I gotta use this against you since you brought it up. Maybe I got less tackles because you said I got a dog next to me who can tackle too.
You're right, but at the end of the day,
all right. So then don't go. So this is.
I got one for you. I got a better one. I got a better one for you.
Don't bring up stats if you just as good and you standing next to me. I'm not going to get as many tackles if I got a beast next to me.
Let's say this then. He played really good in a better defense than our defense the prior year, and he jumped off the page more in our defense.
What's up, Big Tight?
So I don't. All right. I think the biggest thing that we're also missing, not to say that, and I think this might, to me, this does have something to do with it. When you are on a team that is, if you have a losing record, is it more easily to overlook you when you're on a team with a losing record?
Yeah, it can sometimes.
Ask that question again, Claire. Ask it.
No matter how good you are, if you are on a team that is not a winning football team, and I'm not just saying for 1 year, I'm just saying, like the Panthers, let's just go and throw it out there. Is it easier for you to get overlooked because of that noise? And other people take votes ahead of you because while you were also impactful on your team, they were impactful, but were on a winning team.
Well, you can get overlooked. Absolutely. I agree.
Well, that's kind of, go ahead.
No, you got it. I'll say it after you.
I was just saying, I think that could, not saying it does, but I think that could have something to do with it because We haven't had winning football in Carolina in how long? Obviously, yes, we did just have 2 guys go to the Pro Bowl. I think one person went though because I feel like it was because somebody they were playing in the postseason. I can't remember. But either way, we had 2 guys go, so it's not like it's a sure thing that obviously whenever you're on a losing team, you never make the Pro Bowl. That's not always true. But I feel like if there are people who are doing just as good as they could be just as good as you, or even, but if they're on a team with a winning record and they're in the spotlight, I think people are going to zone in on you more, because if you're a losing team, people don't give a fuck how great you are as an individual sometimes. They just don't.
Mm.
So I could be wrong, but, I think that might be part of it as to why someone like Luvu, who to me was a standout, might not have stood out in the voting processes for a Pro Bowl here versus going to the Washington Commanders, who outside of like the first couple of games, I mean, they took that W on their helmets and shit and literally they ran away with it and had a fantastic season. So that could be a part of that. Everybody likes to always say the NFL has not loved Carolina for quite some time anyway. Everybody always makes that joke. So maybe that's part of it.
All right, so let me go ahead and what's up, Big Tight? Yeah, man. Come through, Big Tight. Hit the link, bro. All right, so listen. This is from last year, right?
It would have had to have been because Hassan Reddick wasn't on the Eagles this year. And I just saw his name on there.
Oh, so this was the year before.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you meant last year, as in the year prior to this season, because we're not on we're not on the 2025 season yet. I misunderstood you.
No, you good.
Oh, Kitty, that's what you were saying. Sorry, I was not reading the chat at the time. You pretty much already said what I had said. Gotcha.
Hold on, let me change this. Derby, we just talking about it. They met with him today. We haven't heard anything since from that. We're just debating whether we should. Well, if we as Panthers fans like this move, or not like it, you know what I'm saying? And I'm being blue shirt torn today.
He's not really an injury nightmare, Derby.
No, he's not.
No, he's not.
I'm on the Nick side of things today.
To put it into context, Derby, no offense, Edge, our current rookie running back is probably more injury nightmarish than Blackmon. To be honest, Kitty, I also don't expect us to get a primetime game. We will probably go overseas again, but I don't think we're going to get a primetime game this year either.
They'll get one this year. I guarantee you.
Oh, dear God, for what?
I don't want us to. I don't think we deserve to have a primetime game. And that sounds crazy coming from a fan, but I like to see it to be fair.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't sound crazy at all.
Because the thing is, I don't want people giving our team anything. I want them earning all of it. Because we ain't gonna be good with things being given to us.
Oh, there's going to be plenty of teams that are going to get plenty of primetime games, and they can have all of them as far as I'm concerned. Bo Nix is looking nice. Jaden Daniels, of course, Patrick Mahomes. I'm sure there's going to be a what do you call this? The rematch, like a rematch between them and the Eagles at some point. That'll probably be the like that'll probably be a season opener if they end up playing them. I don't know if they're on their schedule. If not, they'll make that the Hall of Fame game or something. Who knows? NFL likes entertainment.
Yep, I do too. I mean, I don't want to see bums playing each other. You
Well, if
know,
that's the
I
case,
mean,
then we shouldn't have been liking any of the games that we played last year.
well, I mean,
Yeah.
we got to swallow. I mean, look, I didn't feel good after watching those games either. It was a complete waste of time. Let's be honest with each other. We knew what the results were going to be in some of them games. We wouldn't have watched.
I still didn't watch a few of them. There's a few of them I still have only watched like partials of. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Man, it's
I've watched-
about 4 games.
I've watched highlights of a few. That's about it.
It was
I've
at
watched
least 4 or
full
5
ones,
games
but
where I went to bed at halftime, bro. I was like, man,
yeah,
I'm sleeping.
there's some games I have not like. I've watched highlights of them. I'm pretty sure one of them was the Broncos game. I did not watch that one fully. I don't think I did. I don't remember.
And
it.
what's crazy is if Carolina could be a 51-3 on somebody, I'll watch the whole game and post game. But we losing, man. I'm out, man. I don't want to see the rest of that. You know, I mean, it's sad that almost every Carolina Panthers content creator that I know, we've all been doing our shows in losing seasons. None of us has done a show in a winning season. None of us.
Shocking.
We're all built off losing. And somehow, you know, through the graciousness of other Carolina Panthers fans, they come listen to us talk about this team when they got better stuff to do with their time. Because we're all hoping. We're all hoping that this year is going to be better. And now it's to the point where a lot of us don't even believe. Like, man, like I'm not totally in the I don't believe area, but I'm definitely in that I believe it when I see it box. I ain't came out of that box in a minute. I mean, then you got that box of people. It's a big box too. As long as Bryce Young do well, I don't care if we win or lose.
Yep.
That box is
people gonna be
huge.
looking like, what's that? If people gonna be asking, what's that contract looking like for Bryce Young?
As long as Bryce Young does well.
We worried about paying this man. He ain't winning no games.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Well,
I'm gonna be honest with you. If he somehow amasses 4,000 yards, who was that? Who did that fairly recently? Deshaun Watson got all those goddamn yards.
On a losing season,
ended up with a 5-12 season.
They're gonna pay us.
It was 4-12.
I'm still not. That's even fucking worse. I'm still not. I wouldn't fucking pay him.
They are.
Oh well, they're insane. That is insanity.
Claire, you get 4,000 yards, you're gonna get your money.
Yeah, you're gonna get about. They're gonna
blame everybody.
You're gonna get about.
Then I guess Claire will hit the fan transfer portal.
Yeah, they're gonna blame.
I'm not sticking around for that party.
Because you do remember what happened with Deshaun Watson, right? He got all his money guaranteed for the next team he went to, and didn't do anything.
That's because Cleveland was stupid enough to do it.
Yeah, well.
It's okay.
I'm glad. But then again, I'm glad Cleveland did it because that means that took us off the hook.
Well,
so, Cleveland, thank you for doing that for us.
Kirk Cousins got the greatest. I wanted Deshaun Watson too. I ain't even gonna lie. I wanted him. I was willing to give up a whole lot for that guy too, bro. Yeah, I was on coke. Based on how it turned out, yeah, it was.
Dog, we haven't signed. Okay, For everybody listening, we have not signed Julian Blackmon. He has not been signed as a
Nope.
Panther yet.
And
They met with him today, though, bro.
We have met with 2 safeties today. That's it.
Yep.
Only met with them. Don't even know if they're going to be signed.
C-Dog don't want us to sign now. He don't want us to draft.
We are drafting defense.
Offensive
C-Dog.
player.
Yeah, well, guess what? I hate to break
It's
it to you,
just not gonna
C-Dog.
happen, bro.
They're going to draft probably at least 2 offensive players, at least.
Hey, Claire, I'm gonna say this: with what has gone on in the offseason, just adding on to what you just said, with what has gone on in the offseason, there's a high likelihood that either pick 1 or pick 2 will be offensive player.
Oh, yeah.
It's gonna be a receiver.
That's going to be a receiver.
Yes, and that's either going to be pick 1 or pick 2, because I'm telling you right now, in my mind right now, I see edge rusher either at 1 and then wide receiver at 2, or wide receiver at 1 and edge rusher at 2.
I think you are very close to being on the nose with that. Yeah.
Okay, so Nick, so are you? Is it safe to
Yeah,
bet
haven't we been saying
that we're going to get Tet?
No, not some people, but
man,
I mean, it's
if Tet
possible.
falls to 8, they're gonna take.
there are
It's possible.
there was a report. Where was it? It was earlier today. There are members of the Panthers front office that are, quotations, intrigued by Tet McMillan. So yes, if he does fall, that could be a potential weapon. Now, if there's another defensive, defensive player who falls to 8 also with Tet, then at that point they would just have to weigh in on who they feel is going to be the most impactful. And that's a whole different conversation for another day.
Yeah,
I just
As
don't
far
feel
as
like
that.
Tet's going to be that.
Listen, but this is the thing about it is though, Claire. I honestly, looking at what they've done in the in the current off season, the only player that could be there to sway them away from picking up Tet McMillan if he falls is Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter. I don't think either one of them. I don't think either one of them are going to be there.
Kitty said she gonna quit.
Possibly.
Kitty said she gonna quit the team, bro.
Well, then you may as well go ahead and.
I don't blame you.
Her and Kendall. Kendall said he was going over to the Commanders.
I don't blame him.
Bye.
I don't blame him.
That's gonna be interesting. That's gonna be an interesting podcast with a Panther and the Commander on there.
So, but no, Nick, you are. I mean, put it this way: I have seen mocks where both Tet and Mason Graham have fallen, where Travis Hunter and Tet have fallen, where Abdul Carter and Tet have fallen to our pick. Not all of them at once, by the way. Just like the duos, those duos I've seen fall that far.
Yeah, but I don't see. This is the thing about it is though, Claire. I like Mason Graham. Mason Graham is a great player. A great player. But at the end of the day, looking at what we have done in the offseason, I do not believe Mason Graham is a good pick for us.
I agree.
Only reason I say that is
like
because
he
look
would
at
just
the
be
money.
picked for. Well, it's not. Well, that yes. So
well, hey, before we get too ahead of this,
and
I don't know how y'all geniusly was able to pull my next question because it just segued right into this, and I was just like, "Damn,
we've talked about the off season so much, Twan. It's becoming second nature."
Here we go. So listen, this is a real question. I want y'all to give it some thought. I want each of us to name 2 people that we think are going to drop in this draft, and they're not going to get this pick as high as people think they are. And it could just be potential. Although I think everybody
doesn't matter who.
It don't matter. It's just 2 different players. And I want you to be like, no matter who it is, like I think everybody thinks this person is going to go here, but I don't think he's going to go that high.
So the reason why I said doesn't matter who, meaning, okay, let me rephrase. Doesn't matter who, meaning, does it have to be players that we would take at our position at 8 if they fell, or can it just be any player?
Any player.
Any. Okay, that helps.
For any player, any team, whatever that they're projected to go to.
Okay.
Just whoever wants to go first.
Tyler
All right.
Warren.
Well,
Tyler
well,
Warren.
I'll,
It
Let's go start there with Tyler Warren.
That's a great starting point.
Let's start right there.
Oh God.
And look. I hope Cody's listening because the C3 Panther podcast is somehow obsessed with Tyler Warren, and they think we should take him at number 8.
Oh, the infatuation is real.
I look, bro. I had to tell them on free for all that they was tripping.
super tripping.
So, why all of a sudden is everybody? All these people seem to be so high on Tyler Warren and think that we should take him at 8
because they're stuck on gimmicks. They're stuck on gimmicks, man. They believe.
And he only had one decent season.
Listen, not only that point, they are stuck on gimmicks. The dude, he lined up at center. He lined up at halfback. He lined up here. He lined up here.
He is a Kmart blue light special Taysom Hill.
This is the thing about it is what none of them want anybody else to say. He didn't even lead the nation in receiving for tight end. Harold Fannin did.
No, it ain't even just that. I say Cody. But y'all want to take this man at number 8? Y'all can't think of anybody better than him at 8?
For tricks. I would take Harold Fannin because he's more of a receiving threat before him.
That's taking us serious.
Here's my thing, and maybe I know I'm the baby on this podcast. I'm the youngest one here, but even I will admit, I would rather just get a tight end who is for one thing, to be a freaking tight end, to block and to receive when it's needed. That gimmicky, cute shit that he did at Penn State, ain't no way he's going to get away with that shit here in the NFL.
At number 8.
If y'all don't think that defenses aren't going to see that and go, I know what they're about to do. Really? Really?
At number 8.
And at 8, y'all want to pick a guy who y'all think is going to be what he just was at Penn State in the NFL.
Listen, not even that, Claire. This is the thing about this. These dudes they said, "Oh, you can line him up here, and he can block the defense."
He cannot.
He can block. I was like, dude,
my God.
I'm going to tell you right now.
No, it's okay. Nick, let it happen. No, it's okay because I would love to see Tyler Warren versus Vita Vea 2 times a year. I would love to see it. Go ahead.
Oh, so you can get blown up.
Line him up at center. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Can I ask y'all a quick question though? So, so we should take him at number 8, right? How much do we use the tight
end? Well, we've actually improved more usage on it here lately, but as of recently, like over the last 3 or 4 years, we have been ranked at the bottom for tight end usage. Yeah. And that is with now 3 different coaches, mind you.
Okay. Here we go again. And how much did Canales use the tight end at Tampa Bay and with us?
None.
Oh, at Tampa Bay, I have no clue. I'll be honest. I have no idea.
He don't even use the tight end like that. How many times do we complain? Man, we got to get more tight end usage. So you want us to take a guy at 8 that this guy doesn't even see as an important position yet?
Because they want to have him line up every damn where, Twan. Because JT and Tommy Tremble, I guess, in their minds cannot be set up that way. They want Tyler Warren in the backfield. They want us to line up Tyler Warren at center on someplace. They want him to be used in the Wildcat. That's what they see. They see take every highlight you've seen of Tyler Warren in his senior year, put him in a Panthers uniform, and that's what they think he's going to be at the next level.
They think that this dude is going to be a better receiving threat than Travis Kelce, which is not true. It's not true.
Man, I almost threw up in my mouth. Right?
He wasn't even the best. Y'all got to stop this, man. He wasn't even the best pass catching tight end in college football last year.
Harold Fannin was a monster.
Stop it.
Hey man, look.
His stats were better than Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers would have been the rookie of the year if it hadn't been a quarterback that was a rookie too.
Now listen. I'm not I'm not getting on C3 or calling them out or nothing. I'm just saying C3 is
No.
they are a very well respected podcast. So, and then you got people who will just listen to things. Look, man, Cody got all the boys over there thinking we should take Tyler Warren at number 8.
I was gonna say I didn't even know that was a thing. I've just heard it all through a lot of different Panthers, fans.
We did a mock draft that Friday, and almost all of them said Tyler Warren.
Oh God, help us all.
It's no way all of y'all were thinking that.
I didn't even know that's where their minds were at. For some odd reason, I thought they were on the Tet train. I don't know why I thought that C3 was on the Tet train. Or the Mason Graham train. I thought it was the Mason Graham train and the Tet train. I don't know why. I didn't even know Tyler Warren was a thing.
Listen. I just can't. I can't. Like, the thing about it is, if Tyler Warren had been,
if he was like what Brock Bowers had done,
if he had been the
we were talking about
best,
him for 2 years.
Yes, if he had been the second best tight end the year before last, I wouldn't even talk trash.
No.
But Tyler Warren was on the bench, and you know what they want to say? Oh, he had to pay his dues. I'm going to tell you right now, if you're that good, you ain't sitting on my bench.
For real.
Wait, again, but when did he become a thing?
He's a one-hit wonder, Twan. He's a one-hit wonder.
So, yeah, I already said that. I say he only had one good year. Listen, I'm saying as far as his draft, when did Tyler become a thing? Like, you taking the top 10?
Okay, I'll tell you.
They were already talking about it.
Well, no, but here's the thing, because people.
Man.
Twan, let me tell you.
For top 10 has got some ulterior.
Twan, let me tell you, because this I've heard it so many times. I've even seen people put it in our chat, because everyone wants to think that because Dave Canales said that. Oh, he talked about, he's a great athlete. He's a great tight end. People. You guys need to understand, he did not volunteer that opinion.
Say it again.
He was asked.
Claire.
He was asked, how do you feel about Tyler Warren? This was at the combine. He was asked about Tyler Warren. He was asked. He did not volunteer his opinion. He was asked. And he's not going to sit there and trash the young man. He's going to talk him up. So when y'all want to sit here and put words in Canales' mouth saying, oh, Canales said he would draft him, that is not at all what he said. All he said was he's a fantastic athlete. He could be, he will be a great, addition to any team that drafts him. He said all the right things.
Except ours.
He said all the right things. He did not say, oh, we would take him at 8 if he's there. He didn't say anything like that. So stop it.
He gave you the political answer.
Yes.
Yeah, just like Claire and Nick just said. You find me the tape where an NFL coach trash talked a guy coming out of college.
Find me one. Don't worry, I'll wait. Don't worry, I'll wait.
You're gonna be waiting a long time.
Oh, it's okay, Nick. I won't hold my breath. I'll turn purple before it happens and die. So no, I'm good.
They didn't even do that when the coaches was keeping it real.
So again, don't read y'all. What does everybody call it? I haven't heard that phrase. Was it lip service? Lip service? That's not lip service. Is that what you could call it?
Podium talk. All kinds
podium
of
talk. It's like that. He was asked about Tyler Warren. He did not voluntarily go, oh yeah, man, that Tyler Warren kid. He did not volunteer his opinion. He was asked directly.
He did not. The exact word out of the commentator's mouth is, what do you think about Tyler Warren?
And you got to understand, too, man, these guys are asked the questions. They be trying to get these coaches and players with these gotcha questions just to see what they're going to say. And then if they say something out of the norm, it's going to be a big story and all that. I can't stand reporters that do that. You know what I'm saying?
Listen.
And to add, Twan, not to cut you off, Nick, I forgot, because they also like to back up their proof with why they think it'll be Tyler Warren is because Dan Morgan went on record at the combine saying we will probably sign a tight end and potentially draft one. So they're all they're trying to do is put 2 and 2 together. And I'm like, y'all are making a lot of something out of a lot of nothing at this point.
Yeah, just so they can make up some crap and be like, "Oh yeah, Carolina," and then y'all believe it.
Just like when y'all retweeted Garrett Wilson something when people and he was like he is and y'all said, "Oh, Garrett Wilson wants to come to Carolina." That is not what he said, and that is not what that meant. But okay.
I love you, Cody, but y'all tripping, man. You tripping.
I didn't even know that they were on the TW train. They call him TW.
Let me say this to Claire, just to add to what you just said. He said that he would like to sign and maybe sign a tight end and then add one in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
But he also said he also said in that same line that's how I would want to look. That's how I want to address like every piece that we need.
Yeah, because I even said that I wouldn't be shocked for every position we sign, especially in a room that's needy, that we're probably going to sign one and draft one. So like potentially tight end, potentially running back, potentially safety, edge rusher.
Come on, man, y'all like y'all have to stop this nonsense. He Dallas never said that he would draft Tyler Warren. He just said that he's a great prospect. That's what he said.
I had to get on Pickle too. Because Pickle, I asked Pickle all year. I even asked him on this show. I said, you're a Tennessee fan. What do you think about James Pierce? He said he didn't like him. He didn't like his energy. Boom, 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 whatever. And guess who Pickle said we should take at number 8 on Friday?
James Pierce.
I said, man.
Well, what you gonna say? What you gonna say? He doesn't like his motor. I said that he gives up on plays and sometimes.
And y'all know damn well James Pierce ain't no number 8. He ain't no damn 8th pick.
I have never seen James. Maybe very early on, I've seen him go to us, but I've never seen the earliest I've seen him is at 15 with the Falcons.
Yeah, I
just
think
being honest, that is the earliest I've seen James Pierce in a lot of mocks now.
I think in a lot of rankings, I think Wichita has jumped over him now.
Who?
Mike Green.
I got Mike Green going to the Falcons, bro, in my mock.
Yeah.
Well, and he could go there too. We don't know. Who knows? But
early, I think early in the what's called, I think that he was in front of him, but lately I've seen Mike Green at the above him, like two positions above him too.
Mike Green is still above him.
Yeah,
I've seen Mike Green like 3 or 4 positions of. Because look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think I seen Colston Loveland, Golden out of Texas. I know Edge can back me up on that. If you're just talking about strictly edges, though, are you talking about just strictly edges?
I was just talking about edges because at one point in time when you were looking at the rankings, it was James Pierce and then Mike Green. They were right behind each other.
The 2 guys I got going before Pierce is Mike Green and Shamar Stewart. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Donovan Azaraku is better than James Pierce.
I love Donovan Azaraku.
I'm really ready to put Nick Scourton over him too. James Pierce is good, but he ain't better than those guys.
Even Kitty just said, she said as a UT fan, JPJ fell off at the end of the season.
He can be revived. I mean, if he go to the right team, he'll be good, but they better do what he does well, and he better learn how to set that edge because he don't do that at all, and that's why his constant comp is Brian Burns, bro. I think that's disrespectful to Brian Burns, but that's what they say he is. They got by almost the same measurements. And Nick don't really care for Burns. I just threw him in there.
I'm so done with the TW conversation. So
all right, let's go now. Next, who's your next pick, man?
My next pick gonna fall. I think Ashton Gentry's gonna fall into the 15 line. I actually do.
You might be onto something with that one.
I could see that just because I don't know too many I can't say this like I know, but it's just I don't know a lot of running backs. Well, Bijan got picked in the top 10, didn't he? Bijan Robinson?
Yep, he got picked. Yeah, he got picked 5.
The thing is Genty is his size.
Mm-hmm.
The last time somebody I know at his size that got picked up with that was what was that little small running back that played for the Eagles back in the day? Not even 10 years ago.
Darren
Darren
Sproles.
Sproles.
Yeah, Sproul. Yeah, he
Darren
didn't get
Sproles.
picked up in no
He
damn
played
first
for.
round.
He played for Kansas. He played for Kansas State.
The reason why I think Nick is onto something with that is this. I know some people don't like this. They think you play with who's in front of you, which I believe, right? But it matters sometimes who you play in front of. I think the fact that look, he did that. Look, we saw him do it in a playoff game where he got some pretty good runs. Who was that? Who did they play in the playoffs this year? They played Michigan, right? No,
They
hell
played.
no.
It was Penn State.
Penn State.
But they lost though.
They did, yes.
Yes, they did. They did lose.
He had 104 yards. Yeah, I mean that was kind of like I won't say it was his worst, but I mean he had 104 yards, 30 carries, and no touchdowns, which is shocking in that game.
Yeah, we went and looked at his division. There was nobody in that division that could stop him, bro.
Yeah, there was like UNLV, Oregon State, Wyoming, San Jose State.
Yep.
I'm just listing off who they played.
That's the. If I ask you the question, does he run all over Texas? I'm asking Edge.
No.
He ran all over Oregon. My God. And I mean, they lost to Oregon. Did. That was like the only ranked team they played in the regular season. Yeah, he ran all over Oregon. No, I'm just saying. I was doing a comparison because running all over a weak conference when they did play a ranked team. I mean, he got almost 200 yards, 3 touchdowns, and averaged 7.7 yards a carry. That's for 25 carries.
So he did do it against somebody because Oregon was in the freaking playoffs and Oregon was ranked number 1.
I'm being honest with you, but look, don't take that to heart now. Claire, go look at the points that Oregon allowed all year though against every team they play. Oregon's goal was to outscore you, and that's what they did. They gave up a lot of points.
Okay, well that's the case. Why didn't they make it to the national championship? If their plan was to outscore people.
Because when you put up points like that, that's different. I mean, if you can't stop somebody, but you can keep scoring, and they can't stop you, it's going to keep you relevant. But it can't. Yes. Sometimes it won't get you to the chip. You remember when they had old boy when Chip Kelly was the coach, and because they beat us in the first playoffs. You remember when they ran like a play every 9 seconds.
Yeah.
That's how they won all year. They got punished in the championship game because the Ohio State won't play in that day.
Yeah, someone was able to slow them down.
All right, let's move on to Claire, man. Who are your 2? Don't get your hopes up, guys.
That they're going to be picked high?
That you think are going to slide?
Oh, well, that's what I'm saying. Well, you said, you mean tell them not to get their hopes up? Is that what I guess that's what I'm thinking you're meaning by that.
We're all naming 2 players that we think that people think are going to go high, but they are probably going to slide down. They're not going to go as high as people think.
Hold
on, let me name the people so they'll get a good idea.
Because I was gonna say something. I was gonna put on my blue shirt real quick, but
all right, so these are all the people: Cameron Ward, Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter, Shedeur Sanders, Mason Graham, Will Campbell, Ashton Genty, Armand Mambo, Tet, Tyler Warren. You see Will Johnson, Jalen Walker, Shamar Stewart, Kelvin Banks, Mikael Williams. I'm just going to do the first 20. Jade Barron, Jahad Campbell, Mike Green, Colston Loveland, Matthew Golden, and we'll say Malachi Starks.
Okay.
Whew.
I'm going to put. Oh, this is such a weird draft because I could see this happening. And
And when we say drop, we mean drop.
What do you mean drop?
We ain't talking about dropping back a few slots. Like, they going to drop.
Well, I think
Nick named two good ones. I'm really telling you, look, Nick, look, I don't think your boy gonna go as high as they think he gonna go, bro.
Who?
Ashton Genty, he could drop about 10 slots.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, I got a third one, but
so.
We'll come back.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with.
When you say the name and it's one of mine, I'm just gonna say agreed.
Oh God. Okay. I'm gonna put my little blue shirt on real quick because I can't wait to hear it because I already had a conversation with Edge about this young man tonight. And
is it a short sleeve or a long sleeve?
It's a short sleeve. It's a short sleeve.
I was gonna say, well, if it's who I think he's gonna say, I was gonna say the exact same thing too.
Shedeur Sanders.
That's my third one. That's my
Let me just put on my blue shirt, Antoine, real quick on the contrarian train.
I don't got on the blue shirt. That's just what I think.
What?
I got on a black shirt.
No, I'm saying contrarian to what everybody freaking thinks. So, okay.
You know how many times people that tell me, man, you just hating on.
I've been told that too. And no, and I swear, don't. I don't want to. Look, I've got a kid that I'm trying to put through private school. Do not say, don't nobody bet me money on what I'm about to say, please, dear God in heaven. I have seen more and more mocks lately, and I kind of felt this could happen earlier on. I feel like I could honestly see Shedeur. Now, by slipping, he's supposed to be a top 5 potential prospect. If he drops out of the top 5, I have him going as early, Twan. If he drops out of that top 5 range, I would have him going as early as the Steelers potentially at 21. I think he could go further, but I'm just going to leave it right there where it is. I don't. How can I put this? Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders, they do not have very high prospect grades, as y'all think. Both of them, not just Shedeur. However, Shedeur's grade is obviously lower than Cam Ward's, and they both at one point, it's probably changed since their pro days. I will have to go look, but at one point in time, they both had day 2 grades. They had second round day 2 pick grades once upon a time. They have both gone up some. I haven't seen them since their pro days, and I know Shedeur and Travis Hunter, all the Colorado kids, are going to apparently be doing something on April 4th. So guys, I think there could be a slip for Shedeur. I think there are a lot of, I could be wrong in reading into it this way, but I think there are a lot of teams that, I don't want to say that I feel like there's going to be a lot of outside noise with Shedeur. I could be wrong. But I think if you're going to have any conviction on taking him that high, I think there's a lot of things about not only his gameplay and the fact that he's not really a dual threat. He's not going to be a dual threat quarterback, which in this league, you need to have like that mobile pocket passer type, a guy that's not afraid to take off. Shedeur Sanders is not that quarterback type. He has to be behind a decent line and be able to throw that thing down the field. And that means he's going to also have a good running back. He's going to need to have good pieces around him. Not taking anything away from his arm talent. He does have a good completion percentage, but at the same time, I feel like if he had been in any other draft, outside of him being Prime's son, I don't see how he would go as high if he was to go up against a quarterback class like what we just saw. I don't know how. Like, he hasn't won any championship games. He hasn't won a bowl game. Outside of his numbers and him being Prime's son, I don't know what the attraction would be if you were to take all that away, take your fandom of him and his father out of it, take all that out of it, and really, how good of a prospect is he? That's what you need to ask yourself. Remove who he is and who his dad is. And teams are going to look at that too. I think he could slip. I think he does need to sit no matter where he goes, but he probably won't. But I think he would need to sit. And I don't think mentally he's probably pro ready because he grew up with the dad in the NFL, but I think play wise, I don't think he's pro ready. Does anyone want to disagree?
Nope.
Please. Okay.
I believe the kid. For me, I believe the kid got all the confidence in the world, which is nothing wrong with that at all. I mean, the kid got great stats. He got good numbers. He's a pocket quarterback and everything. But I believe he's going to slip just because he's Prime's kid, and nobody wants that.
No, actually, because he's Prime's kid is why people do want him, Edge.
No,
but my thing is
no. You say that, but also at the same time, you keep beating down the hatch of telling me that nobody wants to deal with Prime and everything.
Well, would you want to be in a professional sport where you could potentially have to deal with the son's father constantly if something goes wrong?
Well, at the end of the goddamn day,
no, there is no at the end of the day.
Well, I don't want to deal with it, but at the end of the day, the kid plays for if the kid's gonna play for my damn team, I don't care what the dad says. I don't care what the dad says. At the end of the goddamn day, the kid's gonna have to prove to me if he can play or not. If the kid can't play, the kid can't play. I'm fucking sorry. The kid's gonna have to prove it.
Twan's on mute. I'm just waiting for him to speak, unless he's been talking and doesn't realize he's on mute.
Damn, I've been over here talking with him.
Yeah, I was about to say, you've been awfully quiet the whole time. Like, I was waiting for you to come in and be like, nah.
No.
But like I said, do I like the kid's confidence? Yeah. Do I like the kid I believe the kid can play? Yeah, I believe the kid can play. It's just a matter of fact. It's just a matter of just.
Kitty, we don't deal with Craig Young the way any team would be dealing with Prime. We dealt with Craig Young for all of 5 weeks, and then when we had that season with that, we haven't seen or heard about Craig Young after Bryce Young's first season. So I wouldn't put too much stock into Craig Young.
Hey, Az, let me ask you this question, and it's not hypothetical because I'm going by what his dad said.
Mm-hmm.
And what if you're on the team and his dad said, no, even though Edge picked him up, he ain't signing with that team? Then what?
Then he ain't playing.
Well, then but look, it's really gonna make you look crazy if you draft him anyway and sit him on your bench because you ain't getting nothing for your pick.
Yeah. So why again would a team take him number 2, number 3, number 4?
No, I'm just saying as an owner, I gotta know that I ain't gonna have no issues out of his pops.
And no BS.
You're gonna have issues out of
and there you go.
Whether you like
unless you are a team who is in good with Prime in some fashion, in other words, a team where he would want his son to go, you're probably going to deal with that.
Okay. Okay. Well, if that's the case, then Dallas should have freaking just hired Prime. Dallas should just hire goddamn Prime.
Oh my god!
And that
That's
Dallas
the solution.
That's pretty sad, Edge. If that's the solution, if the solution has to be that I've got to go hire his daddy to allow him to be in the NFL, God, that makes him sound like a wuss. I'm not gonna lie. We got to bring your daddy here just so we know you can be coached right. What the fuck?
I
forgot to say that. That's the other knock, because I said this against Edge earlier too. The fact that he's only ever been coached by his pops. That's a problem, because you don't know how he's going to be with any other coach. You have no clue.
I believe in nepotism, but only to a certain point.
Oh, well.
Anyway. If I drafted him and he signed that deal, I don't have to deal with his dad. It's my team. Now, if you want to see
Correct.
your dad get escorted out of my building every Sunday, let him come over here trying to start something.
Right. But then the question then becomes, are you going to deal with what the Cardinals just dealt with Marvin Harrison?
Once you sign that contract, I don't care. Your dad can't do nothing.
Yeah, but look how long it took for Marvin Harrison to sign his.
Well, that's on Marvin Harrison.
Well,
I think that's what's going to make more teams cautious to pick these guys up then. Especially if you like the son of an ex-player or something, they're going to be like, look, man, I don't want no bull. And if you
I think it's a double-edged sword. I think both things can be true, Edge, is what I was trying to say earlier. I think it can be true that there are teams that would love to have him because he was coached by Prime and he's Prime's son. On the same coin, I also think that there are teams who would shy away from him because he knows what they already know what's going to come with Shador, which is potentially interference with Prime because he's Prime's son. Both statements can be true. Which teams are those? No idea. We'll find out.
What I'm going to say is this. Marvin Harrison's dad, Prime, anybody else, because I don't want to just put it on them. I'm talking about any of the players' parents. They have no leverage at the end of the day. Because it's like this. If your son don't sign a contract, then you know your son is stuck. He ain't going to make no money. He can't go to another team.
But Twan.
Now you just stuck your own son if you do some crap like that.
Okay, but Twan, let me ask you this. And this is something I brought up to Edge earlier, and I feel I don't know if I'll sound like an idiot saying it. Does Shador really need the money? Does he?
Look, man, I don't think.
I'm just asking. I'm just trying to keep.
Yeah, he needed. Yeah, he needed because I'm gonna be honest with you.
Okay, go for it. I want to hear it.
This is one of the things I love about Prime. Prime ain't spending all that money on them boys like that. Prime does believe his sons getting their own thing, bro. He don't raise them like that. I mean, I just know that he don't raise them boys to be like, I'm gonna buy y'all whatever y'all want, man. He didn't even raise them like that.
Okay, so
but at the end of the day,
that's a simple fact. If he doesn't raise him like that, and a team signs him, then they should expect no bullshit.
So no, they're expecting that
from his dad. Now, I'm not talking about the player. I'm talking about from his dad.
But his dad won't shut up.
That, like I said earlier, Twan, Prime talks a lot. Yeah. He's talked way too damn much for the last 2 years.
What I'm trying to tell Edge is this. Prime said very blanketly, there's certain teams I'm not going to let my son play for. Now, if you're an owner and you don't know if you're on that list, it can make it difficult.
Oh, he only said who the teams are, but who the teams he would want his son to be drafted by, not the who not.
Can't do that. You can't do that. Can't do that, man. I mean, everybody want to be Archie Manning now.
I mean,
I'm not really sure if he did that because his goal wasn't to go to New York. He just didn't want to play for the Chargers. So
and that's why
I don't know,
man. Oh, Eli. Is it Eli?
And that's why in the middle, it was Eli. And that's why in the middle. That's why in the middle of the draft,
interfered in that.
The Chargers, the Giants picked the Chargers, and they did a pick, and they did a player swap.
Yeah, well,
I mean that could easily happen. That could easily happen too.
Oh dear God,
that could easily happen.
But who's gonna do that? I'm not gonna do that. You think I'm gonna pick somebody with my higher pick and trade them with you for somebody you got at a lower pick? I ain't doing that. Look, if I do that swap, it's gonna be you can have Shador and you giving me something else. It's gonna be a pick swap and another pick,
especially if it's a team further down the line.
Yeah, I ain't doing that.
Like if it's the Raiders talking to the Browns, for example. If the Browns were really going to go after him.
And if you don't want to do it, then that's
he doesn't want to do that, man. He'd rather go be with the Raiders because that's where Tom Brady is. And I'm telling the Raiders, well, what you gonna give me?
No, you can have him. He either playing for me or I got two of your guys playing for me.
So again, that's my one. That's one of my ones. The other person that I have slipping, and And I don't even. What's funny is I'm surprised that I don't know. I guess to me, I'm shocked we're not talking about him more because he was rated so highly. I've already seen him slipping, but he was on your list, Juan, and I thought about mentioning him. Will Johnson. I know everybody likes to bring up Will Johnson, and they're like, well, he hasn't allowed a touchdown, and ever since he was there. And I know, Twan, you were talking about, how just earlier we were talking about how even if the stats don't jump off the page, if the way they're playing and how they play with your eye test, like if that's what's showing you, maybe that's what's got Will Johnson so high on their boards. But if he was so amazingly awesome, then why are guys like Travis Hunter, like Jade Barron, like who was the other kid? I gotta look him up now. But there was like 3 or 4,
Malachi
if not 5
Starks.
corners. That's a safety cornerback. But there are corners who were not outside of Travis Hunter, who were not even going to go in the first round initially and are now jumping him. And I just want to know, like, is there something about him we don't know?
Well, he is hurt.
Like, who? Who is hurt? Will?
Yeah, Will Johnson's hurt. That's why he didn't do his pro day.
Oh, God. No more hurt players. The fuck is he hurt with?
Yeah, they said he had the hamstring.
Oh, for God's sake. Okay, I'm changing my answer because that's stupid. Because now we all know why he's going to fall. Okay, another person.
Will Johnson man hurt. I mean, as long as we don't pick him up.
No, I know, but that it's not shocking that he would fall. Someone who I wouldn't. Additionally, I'll have a backup answer. Someone who I think could also fall. Is someone who we've talked about a lot on this show, and we just mentioned him earlier. Because I wondered if there was a reason. There we go. But Tet McMillan is another one who I could see falling.
I don't see him falling. If anything, I see him moving up.
No, I don't.
No.
Okay.
I could potentially see him falling, just because.
It don't. Because when I name mine, trust me, y'all are not gonna believe mine.
Well, I only say Tet just because I feel like I think with a lot of what people love about Tet is his size, which I get you can't teach size, okay, and he had like over 1,000 yards receiving, and I get that that's nothing to sneeze at, but there's also a lot of things that we have complained about on this team, and other teams have complained about that he is also not good at. He is not very good at getting separation against man or against zone coverage. In fact, he's at the bottom or close to the bottom in both. So unless he's just going to use his size to outmaneuver these guys in the NFL, he doesn't get good separation. He's not the crispest route runner in the world. He's also not the fastest guy in the world either. And I'm not saying he needs to be fast. Huh?
You don't gotta be fast.
No, but at the same time, if you're not going to be fast, then you need to be able to get separation.
But
now, I don't know who all.
What did he run? Didn't he run off? Yeah, it's pro day already, right?
So here's the thing. At one point, it was like a 4. No. That's Xavier Restrepo. Restrepo killed his stock at his pro day. No. At one point, I saw it was like a 4.6 and a 4.6, a 4 somewhere in the later 4.5s. And then there was something where he did a separate workout where he kept running it and finally got down to somewhere in the 4.4s. But that was, I don't know if that was official or if that was whatever, because it wasn't at his pro day. He was just on a field somewhere and did it and got it down to something. So I don't know if that counts. I have no idea.
Mitchell report said that he ran a 4.48.
4.4. Okay. So in the higher 4.4.
And it was his second run in the 40-yard dash and workouts for NFL teams. Yeah, okay. Man. They ain't gonna cheat themselves. That's fast enough. At his height, that's 4.4 is good.
Okay. But again, I could still see him falling when you've got guys who are that speed guy. And I think it also just depends on the teams and who they're picking. I've seen Matthew Golden go above him. Matthew Golden is actually now in a lot of draft boards, not on mock drafts, but on draft boards rated above him in wide receivers. I've even seen Luther Burden make a jump over him in a couple of boards. So I don't know if it's mostly because it's like, yeah, you're big and you're tall, but how are you going to be at the next level? I don't know, but I could see him falling. I could see him falling into the mid-teens outside of being in that top 5. I could see him falling to the mid-teens, which is out of when he's mocked to be going in the top 5 to potentially top 8. I think saying him dropping to the teens is a drop. So if I keep seeing it mocked and I'm hearing it on draft boards, it's happening for a reason. I've watched some of his tape and yeah, he's a big dude. I just don't think he's as polished to be taken in that top 5 realm. So if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But anyway.
Are y'all ready to be shocked?
I'm going to laugh if I'm not as shocked as you think we're going to be.
So, hey, where's Nick at? Because I want Nick to hear.
I'll wait for this shot.
So, all right. So, and this is what I'm basing it on. Because most teams don't know what side of the ball they want to use him on. I can see Travis dropping, bro.
I mean, that's not shocking either.
I don't see him going as high as people think he's going to go. And he won the Heisman. And, a lot of people think because you win the Heisman, you're supposed to go number 1. Well, that didn't work out for us. But the reason why I say that, and the only reason why I'm saying that is because we don't know what he's being drafted for these teams. Like, so anybody that's going to go out there, Hunter has to have and I think I heard Nick argue this in the past about where he's better at. You have to have a clear and concise plan of exactly what you're going to do with that guy. And if you don't, I can see people saying he's good at both, but master of none.
Yep. Sounds a lot like Tyler Warren.
So he might try.
Oh, I mean, I've seen him.
If you ain't a master of either one of them, why would I take you? Other than the hype. Other than the hype.
Yeah, straight up hype pick. That's all it is.
So he's all hype and no play.
No, the boy can ball, man.
We're saying he can ball, but
team will pick him up because of the hype. That didn't work out for us. Man, we picked up Bryce because of hype. All hype. Yeah, that's all. I said that's the only reason. You know what I mean? It's hype, and he's not a master of either one. He can get roasted on defense playing corner, and I've seen a lot of times where he ain't dusting everybody off at wide receiver. Is he the best wide receiver in the draft? No. Is he the best corner in the draft? No. So why would I pick him? What am I picking him for, though? So then I got to decide what I'm going to be using him for. Because, look, yeah, we've seen Prime go both ways in the NFL, but it won't for no whole game. And you selling yourself short if you picking him up to – man, I'm trying to tell you, look, the NFL is brutal on both sides of the ball, bro. That's twice the chance you could get hurt. This is a lot that comes into play, man. And I think teams are going to evaluate that.
Well, I'll just to add to what you're saying, Twan, and I'll go back and listen to it just to confirm. But on the Ian Rappaport was pretty much hosting the Pat McAfee show today in place of Pat. And I think when he had Daniel Jeremiah on, they had a conversation where I don't know if it was Ian Rappaport or if it was Daniel Jeremiah that stated that when the team picks the player, however they write their position and name on the card is likely going to lead to what their intentions are. And I think they gave an example of if they say wide receiver, cornerback, then that's going to tell you that they're drafting him to be a wide receiver and a cornerback second, or vice versa. Or they might just put one position on there. I don't know how, I mean, if they're saying it, I'm assuming there's some truth to that. But if there is any weight to how they read off his card when they announce who he goes to, that could be kind of the telltale sign of why that team picked him and at what position they intend to use him for. So if they haven't announced it yet, that is something to keep an eye out on if you're always questioning it. So if he goes to the Patriots and you hear that they've taken Travis Hunter and they've only got wide receiver listed, there's your answer. If they've got wide receiver / cornerback, then he's going to be a full-time wide receiver and probably a very extremely limited part-time cornerback. Just as an example. But I will go back and listen to it to see which of the two said it. But that is apparently something that's kind of like a hint. That's why sometimes you'll hear teams say linebacker, edge rusher, whenever the commissioner reads it off. It's because that's my understanding based off that is how the intentions are of the team that has drafted that player. So just something to keep in the back of your minds in the next 30 some days when we have this draft, whenever he gets his name called, just hearing how they list him. And that could change, they could change their intentions, but that seems to be like for lack of a better term, a hint.
Yeah. Well, my second pick it's not a shock because Nick already did it. Already said it, and that's Tyler Warren.
Okay. Oh, God.
And the only reason why I'm saying that is because of all this ridiculously stupid hype that I've been hearing lately. Like, man, I think all of y'all are crazy, man.
I don't even. Can I explain why I didn't even bother picking Tyler Warren? Because to me, he's not. I don't think he's even going to. He's. Oh my God. I think he will still be on the board even after the Falcons pick, if I'm being honest with you. He might go to the Colts, but I think he'll go later. I didn't even think, I mean, he's in the top 10 or whatever because of the hype. I just think it's crazy that we're even having a conversation about a one-hit wonder Taysom Hill wannabe. And the fact that people want to draft him, I don't even know why.
He can play quarterback. He can play.
If we wanted a quarterback, then we should be drafting a quarterback. If we wanted a center, we should be drafting a center. If we wanted, just let him be a tight end. If he can't come in and be successful at being just that, then he's not worth any pick in the top 15. I'm sorry. I saw his year prior to where I think he started, and he had I think it was 4 or 5 touchdowns at 600 or 5 or 600 something yards. Those are typical tight end numbers. And this, oh God. Oh, we don't need a gadget player. We don't. I don't need someone at 260 lining up at center for a gadget play against the Buccaneers when Vita Vea is going to be across from him. I'm good on that. I'm good. God almighty.
Yeah. Oh. All right, it's on you, Edge.
Well, besides Shador, honestly, I think Mike Green might fall.
Mike Green's not even
Mike Green is already fell.
I was about to say.
I mean, he can possibly fall to the second round.
Are you talking? Well, you're talking about because of all of his scandalous stuff he's got.
No, he said no. The reason why that he said he could fall to the second round, now that's a real thing.
Yeah.
No, he can.
That's why I took back my Will Johnson pick, because once you said he was injured, I'm like, well, yeah, no shit, he's gonna fall. So let me give you a second one because I knew that could happen.
That Mike Green stuff ain't going nowhere, man. They're already
No, that's
questioning why that the guy who put it out there has done that before with players. You know what I'm saying? It's
bro. Look, Twan. We hear it every fucking year. Every
every
player
year.
is gonna every year someone's gonna have some dirt, whether it's his game want to play, some girl wanted to come out and say that he did something in freaking middle school and high school, and they just now coming out about it because he's about to get all this damn money. Look, it's every time right around the time frame. Something happened so long ago, and now the family wants to come after the kid for some money. Like it happened to the kid that played at freaking Baylor. The freaking defensive
That's why I
end
ordered that. This came out
that edge rusher out of freaking Baylor. He got his name trashed through the whole goddamn mud.
2 months
He
ago.
couldn't play for 7 years until he got his name cleared. Once he finally got his freaking name cleared, it was too late for him to go to the NFL. So he had to play in Canada just to get his name name put back into NFL freaking years. So it happens every year. And with Mike Green, I'm not saying it's because of that. I'm saying because mainly it's gonna be because of that, but also it's mainly gonna be because freaking yes, I get he played at Marshall, and yes, I get he had the stats that he had. But it's like what everybody says. Well, he didn't play against nobody, and that's what people are gonna base it off of. He didn't play against nobody, just like how people say, "Oh, Ashton Jenkins didn't play against nobody, but he had freaking college career record breaking numbers." Everybody's gonna say that, and that's probably the main reason why he's gonna end up falling. They don't care about the numbers. They don't care about the school. They don't care about the stats. They care about production. And since he had one good year at production, just like Tyler Warren had one good year of production at freaking Penn State,
Ashton Genty didn't have
they're
just one good year of production.
I get that.
He had
I get
two.
that, but I get
What are you talking about?
I get that. I get that, but they're gonna look at he played at Boise State. He didn't play against no real
Okay, but
competition besides
Edge,
Oregon, and that's it. And
that
that's
is
what they're
the
gonna say about that,
name.
and that's what they're gonna say about Mike Green. That's what people are gonna say
Okay,
about Mike Green. He only has stats against freaking this dang teams, even though you can't get mad at the teams that is put in front of you.
well, all I have to say about Marshall is this: ask Will Howard if he knows who Mike Green is. He'll tell you.
Oh,
Mhm.
I
Because
know he
he
does.
played against Ohio State. Will Howard
I
knows
know he played
exactly
against
who he
Ohio
is.
State. Yeah,
Um,
I get that. I get that. Trust me, I
so
get it. But that's what people are
okay,
gonna say.
I don't think Mike Green falling into. I don't think that's the only other person. Unless Edge, if you have someone else.
I mean, I got Ted McMillan because I don't
I don't
see why he's getting all this damn hype for no reason.
because
What?
he's six.
I don't give a fuck.
There are a lot of
I
mocks,
don't
Twan, where I
damn.
have seen him fall outside of the top 10.
Yeah.
Where he's like going and like I've seen him go to like the Chargers. I've seen him go to I've seen him fall. There's a reason for it. If there are NFL analysts who do this shit for a living, showing that he's gonna fall, I think there's a reason for that. And just from what I've heard, I mean, he's not a polished route runner. Yeah, he's big and he's tall. At the next level, is his lack of separation going to be affected at the NFL level? Blah blah blah. There's a lot of questions. There's not a lot of wide receiver. There are a lot of wide receivers, I guess you could say, in this draft. But as far as depth of talent, that's where the question mark seems to be with this wide receiver class. Not so much that there's not a lot of them, just the depth of talent. The only other person, y'all, that I've really got on my board that I think could fall just because of the big question marks when it comes to his own injury history is Abdul Carter.
Nah, he ain't falling.
Oh.
I mean, it would seem like he would, but ain't nobody budging on him, bro.
There's been a few where I've seen that he's fallen outside of the top 5. I've not seen him go past top 10. But I mean, so that's not really a drastic fall. But the fact that we were talking about this guy going number 1 overall, and now he's slated to possibly go even as far back as maybe the Saints after us.
I still think he's going number 1 overall. It ain't never changed for me.
You really think that
There's
the
a
Titans are
possibility he's
gonna
going to
are
go
gonna
number one
are gonna roll with Will Levis once again?
and circle around and get another quarterback in the second round with their second pick. I think they're going to go
Jackson
out
Dart.
the
I can see
Maybe.
Pittsburgh going after Dart. I can
All
see
the,
Pittsburgh going after Jalen Milrow.
and,
I
I mean,
think Pittsburgh will make a run at Jalen Milrow. It's so weird, y'all. This draft, we could see 4 quarterbacks go in the first round, or we could see only 1 go in the first round. It's really
that's what I'm saying. That's why I got to see this draft. It ain't just for the
so
Panthers. That first
weird.
round is going to be so comical, bro.
The first 5 picks
It's
are going
going
to
to
be
be
comical.
not even so much funny. It's just going to be very entertaining to see where these guys go and what all these people thought they was going to go.
Yeah. And there's going to be teams that are going to trade up too. Someone's going to trade up. I'm just saying.
I don't know.
I don't know, man. This draft right here is where I really don't know what they're going to do.
That's what Ian Rappaport said. He said this has been the most wildest pre-draft process. He said because he said the draft is literally 30 days out. It's a month out, and he said, and I couldn't even begin to tell you how the first 5 picks are going to look. He said, I have no idea. He literally said that earlier on the show today. He's like, I have no idea.
Nobody knows, man. It's too wild.
Atlanta boy, they Julian Blackmon. Sorry, I'm swallowing some food. Julian Blackmon is a safety that we looked at today, that they spoke to today, and he's a potential pickup for the Carolina Panthers. I said, is he good? We talked about that at the beginning of the show. I don't know enough about him. You know, I was being the contrarian and asking a bunch of questions.
I
But
only
the
say
fact that you're asking questions still means it just furthers my point where I'm like, do people really know this guy like that? If he was that good, he would be somewhat of a standout. So many people have questioned in the chat today, who is he? And if we don't really know who the dude is, then why are we? I don't know, man. It sounds like a real Carolina thing to do, what they about to do.
I mean, could we bring that into question with every other free agent we brought in because they didn't get re-signed by their teams? Just asking.
I mean, might as well.
We didn't waste no time signing those guys either. We obviously didn't want somebody else to get them.
Yeah, well, Julian Blackmon, he's
everything slows down, but you got to realize there's a big push for free agency right at the beginning, and then it slows down. There's onesies and twosies right before the draft, and usually those are the guys that come in at lower numbers, and then there's the basically the second phase of free agency after the draft.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not buying into any of this.
Does anybody want to take a gamble on who they think could go a lot higher than they should?
That's a good question.
Nick and Rory.
I had a feeling Nick was going to go with it.
I gotta agree with him again.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Nick Rory would be on my list of players who I think will go higher than a lot of people expect. Another guy. I mean,
mark my words. This is from a fellow Nick. This is from a fellow Nick. Nick Rory will not go less than 13. We're not gonna go past 13.
Ooh, Lord!
You think he's going to go? You think so? You think it's a possibility that he might go to the Colts?
Yeah.
No, I think he's going to Miami.
Oh.
Nah, it's a possibility he can go to the Colts too. They need it. They just released that.
But the Colts is at 14. I think he's going at 13.
The Colts have Nick right now. They have their 2 starters in Nick Scott and Cameron Bynum. I don't see them taking another safety in the first round.
But what's got lost? Freaking Javon Holland.
Miami, yeah. Who is the safety? Who were the safeties if they still have him for the 49ers right now.
Didn't they lose one, or did they lost
Yeah.
a cornerback? They lost a cornerback.
Oh, was
They-
it
they-
corner?
they-
Never mind.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
thinking
they
of,
lost
was it
Ward.
Ward Travarius?
Yeah, they wrote
Never
Travarius
mind.
Ward. Yeah,
I don't know why I thought he was a safety.
So the thing when you start releasing people, like Nick just said, Miami released.
Atlanta boy, no, he does not.
He said, they released Holland. Well, it's like, bro, you better be right, bro, because if the guy you got your eyes on in that draft, that means your camp can't be saying nothing. Y'all better be completely quiet, and you better be right. You better hope nobody takes him before you do, or that plan didn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I think that people
This
are
guy
saying
should second.
people have this abundant thing saying that, oh, I think Nick Moore is going to go in the 20s. Nick Moore is not going to be on the board in the 20s. He's not. The dude is a freak of nature, and he can play free safety. Come on now, come on. This is like This is like this is the best example for me. So your boy from Seattle back in the day. What's his damn name?
Chandler.
Yeah. So Chandler, mixed with Earl Campbell coverage skills. That's what this is like. This dude will pop you, and he can cover you well. And Twan will tell you. Twan has said it several times. If he picks the ball off,
You're going to the house.
He's looking to go to the house.
Yeah,
the dude turns into basically a running back as soon as he gets the ball in his hands.
He ain't trying to be tackled. He's not going to fall when you hit him. It's going to take a couple of y'all to get him down.
The dude has great contact balance, which you usually you don't see freaking DBs with great contact balance. Like usually DBs, if you hit them, they go into the ground.
I knew Atlanta boy was going to be bringing up Malachi Starks.
Malachi Starks, what? I mean, people. So, but Malachi Starks don't have. Listen, I like Malachi Starks, but Malachi Starks is not 6'3", 230 pounds, and runs a 4.3.
That's
I'm
crazy.
sorry.
That's crazy numbers for a safety.
Yeah. That is unprecedented numbers for a safety.
At that height, are you sure you want to throw over the top?
This is the missile. This is the missile coming at you. 6'3", 230, 4.3. Malachi Starks. I like Malachi Starks, but Malachi Starks is a typical safety. Nick Imamori is a freak of nature.
Well, Carolina take him.
I've seen mocks where we have, y'all. I have. And a lot of people are saying
you're right here in our backyard.
I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad.
Here,
if we did
no. Here, let me go be what every other fan does for every offensive weapon. Nicky Manwari said he hopes he's going to get drafted by us, so that means we're going to take him.
He did say that though. Hey, look.
He did, but someone would equate that to saying, "Oh, that means we're going to take him."
Well, look,
let me go be that person real quick.
It does make you feel better that a guy is like, I want to go play with the Panthers. That's really, really, really good, man.
Oh, and by the way,
that don't mean we're gonna take him, but like he did say
that. And guess what? He volunteered that. He wasn't asked, how would you feel about getting taken by the Panthers? Oh, I hope they take me. He didn't ask. He wasn't asked that. He literally said, yeah, I've talked to them and everything. They've got a lot of our, South Carolina guys over there. They've got I like what they're trying to build. I hope they take me. He volunteered that information.
Yeah, and then he said, and then he volunteered the information that he works out with JC.
Yep, he does. He keeps very much in touch with JC, and they do work out.
And think about this. It's not like they were friends in school. They missed each other by a year.
A year. Yep, a year apart.
So this is just
keep mad in touch.
This is just alumni getting in touch with each
brotherhood.
Other. Yeah.
Yep.
There's a lot of guys out of South Carolina I wouldn't mind taking in this draft.
Kyle Kennard, Rocket Sanders,
Demetrius
Knight.
They loaded.
Especially Knight. I would definitely take Knight.
Listen, I'm just saying, man. Y'all
There's
got.
gonna be a lot of. There might be a lot of
I'm
Clemson
gonna tell
fans
you
with some
right
hurt
now.
feelings.
Mhm.
Oh,
The more I think about it, they sit right here in y'all backyard. I wouldn't be mad if we took Nick Amawari, just and then we took Demetrius Knight later.
so
I wouldn't be
well,
mad at that.
or
Oh
hey,
yeah, hey, because now you
just trifecta it. Go get Nicki Manwari, go get Kyle Kennard, and then go get
That's
Demetrius
chemistry.
Knight.
What you building right there is not only talent but chemistry.
chemistry already.
I was gonna say,
I
y'all.
mean, I mean, look
If
at Philly.
Hey,
the
look,
Look at
Eagles can
Philly.
draft half the damn Georgia
Yeah,
defense,
they
we can
got
do it with
all of
South
Georgia over there.
Carolina.
yeah.
The
So
See,
only
this is
thing, the
it's the
only thing, the only
it's the
thing is Nick.
Philadelphia Bulldogs, basically.
yeah,
Yeah, Nick. The only thing is Evero. Is he gonna let them boys play their game, or is he gonna want to do some crazy shit?
No, he's gonna want them to play his
I had to
game.
catch myself. I had to catch myself.
I think.
Is he gonna let them boys play their game?
Well, the thing about it is, man, what people don't realize is that I
And we
don't
can
think.
trade back and get him in work.
yeah, we could.
I think.
Yeah,
I
I don't
wouldn't
know,
trade
man.
back too
We
far.
can't go too far back.
Yeah, I want to trade back. I ain't trading back. If the player is good enough he is good enough to be picked. They just don't. I don't. It's because he's a safety. They don't want to rank him that high. At the end of the day, that's literally what it
Whatever.
is, man.
Oh, there have been plenty of safeties in the past that have been taken in the top
You
10.
remember,
So.
but you remember early on when we first started doing mocks, like a couple months ago, when they had Malachi Starks as the #1 draft pick.
Yeah, but he didn't go. He
We
didn't
were
fall
like,
all the way.
what?
He didn't fall. He basically fell just in front of Nick Imawari at this point.
He was never supposed to be up there at no #1 slot.
Yeah, he wasn't. I mean, at the end of the day, like I can understand it, man. But these ain't gang. Like this is what people don't realize, man. We ain't like Nick Imawari could probably end up being a generational type talent because I ain't seen no free safety that big,
That
that
fast,
big,
that good of
that
hands.
fast.
And the guys always just seems to be always around the ball, bro.
Dude, like you. I mean,
Let me,
you
let me,
get
let me look. See, Nick ain't giving you the due justice. Let me help Nick out.
you ain't got
If you even thinking about trying to throw over the top on JC Horn, you got to deal with him.
Horns.
They can keep you from going to a whole side of the ball. Right,
like
And
do
then
not
on
go
the
to the
other
left.
side, you'd have to deal with Trayvon Morig
who will
Bro,
and
knock your
Mike
head,
Jack.
who will knock your head off.
come on, man. Boy, it might be coming
Like,
together right here.
listen, like y'all think about this. Trevor Morig is. I mean, he ain't no small dude, but he ain't playing. Trevor Morig is the typical size of what you would see somebody playing free safety.
Mhm.
Usually, you would want to see the roles reversed. You'd want to see somebody the size of freaking Nick and Mawari in the strong safety, and then somebody Morig out there being free safety. But at the end of the day, if you don't put put freaking Nick and Mawari at your free safety, you are doing yourself a injustice.
I ain't mad at it now, bro. Now look, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I ain't even discussed it like that until we discussed it on this channel, bro. Man, bro, like y'all got that in my head now, bro. Like it might be just a good move to just take Warren first,
I don't. If
and
if
then
it happened, I wouldn't even
because
be mad.
if we say the draft is deep, we can't be saying it ain't deep if we take Warren.
Also,
See, I want Walker, but it almost makes more sense to get Warren first. Mm,
so
I'm
can
really,
I
Go ahead.
that could be
also just bring
dangerous.
up something? I just want to bring up something too. What is something, Twan? I know you haven't been to a game in a while. Nick, I don't know if you've been to the actual Bank of America in a while, but Edge and I we try to go at least once a year. One of the biggest things and you can see it on TV, the stadium is hardly ever to its full capacity. I won't even say it's half full.
Because
And usually
we lacking the fan favorite. We lacking the.
but listen.
Yeah, I stopped
You
going
know
when
what?
it wasn't packed.
But listen, but you know what happens when you start, and what's funny is there's some people are like, man, we can't always be getting this hometown talent. If you don't think
I
Vaughn
know
second,
what
bringing in.
Claire. Hey, Claire, I know what you're going to say. I ain't gonna say it. No. It just hit my head.
I was about to say, but if you bring and that's not just from South Carolina. I mean, if you start bringing in some hometown talent on both
It's
sides,
gonna bring the people over here,
I'm telling you, Twan, they're gonna want to go see their guys play. I'm
bruh.
just saying.
And they got that
There are
Listen,
people who would kill to see Nick him and Rory in a Panthers uniform, and he gets to stay home, and they can watch him some more. Just saying, butts will be in seats. Just saying.
phone.
hey, I'm coming to the bank this year. I'm coming to the bank.
Hey, Claire, and he said he
Do what?
And he wants
wanted
to
to
be
be
here.
here.
And he said he wanted to be
Listen,
here.
the type of dude that want to be here, the type of dude
You
that
gotta
like
take that into
is
Oh,
consideration.
like,
hold up. Wait, Atlanta boy. Now, here's my thing. If you mean James Pierce is. I know we said he's going to fall. I don't think he'll even. I don't think they would let him be there at 57. Y'all think he would fall to 57?
I don't think he's gonna fall out the first round.
Yeah,
Nah.
I mean, we would have to trade up and really be convicted on wanting to
You
get
know why
him.
he ain't gonna fall?
Huh?
Height. He ain't gonna fall
Oh,
because of some height. Because he had one of the best combines of any player. But that's the
yeah.
panties. That's panties to me, bro. I'm looking at your film. And I'm telling you right now, if you didn't like Brian, if it trips me out for people who say they didn't like Brian Burns, but they want him.
Yeah, if you didn't like Brian Burns, you're not going to like James Pierce.
He's a fall off from Brian Burns, bro. He don't set the edge at all, bro. I mean, he got all that bend. He can twist. He got some moves, but he can't run through nobody. So I mean, he looked nice running around in the
Clay, you
little
already,
black hoodie with the number on it.
Clay, you already got that dude that was spamming, or
Oh, I
one of y'all
didn't
got
even.
it?
Oh, hold on. I got
Oh,
you. Is it going
Shush
to let
Cat
me?
said,
Well, shit. Is it going to let me?
Shush Cat.
Somebody
He
already
said,
got him.
hold tight. He said, Shush Cat says Nick Amorari is a type of safety that Jeremy Chin wishes he was.
That's
Facts.
true. That's facts.
Y'all,
That's
y'all,
facts.
y'all.
That's facts. That's big facts.
You don't even have to pay him like Chin is getting paid.
That's super facts. I don't even
Nope.
like.
Years for at least 3 years. Bro, look, bro, that Amorari is starting to look more and more like the first thing we should
Listen, I
do.
would not be mad at it because at the end of the day, you pick somebody like that, you picked a dog, a a, a, a real dog, man.
That's
You
what
pick.
Oh,
that's,
and guess what,
that's what
Twan?
Morgan said he wanted.
And Twan, he's healthy.
Yeah,
He's
never
healthy.
been
You don't have to worry
hurt.
about like
Let me
how
pull his stats
Jalen.
up.
Huh?
Let me pull his stats up.
Oh, go for it. I can't. It's because it's on Twitch. If someone got rid of that, I can't get rid of it because I'm doing it through YouTube. It's not
Nah,
letting me
it's
get
on
rid of
Twitch.
it.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
would
it's
have to
not
go
letting
on
me
Twitch
get.
and get rid of it.
It's not letting me get rid of it.
I didn't- you know, I don't see it on YouTube.
I do.
Nah,
I see it on YouTube.
I can't get rid of it because it's on Twitch. I mean, well, maybe no, because I'm not a moderator on Twitch. I don't know how all that works when it comes to.
yeah, I mean, Twitch has a pretty good security system themselves.
Yeah, but I mean,
So they
at
go,
least this isn't anything crazy.
yeah, it goes by keywords, and they ain't gonna let you just post a bunch of craziness on there anyway. And then when I set up the account, it was like you can put that option of if somebody says questionable things or like cursing or whatever to a certain level, then anything racist that they'll clip it themselves.
Yeah. Atlanta boy, the problem with that take is I'm here to tell you right now, if you don't think that
They,
they're not going to go get their golden boy another weapon, you're wrong.
oh yeah, they taking a receiver this year.
You
They
can
not
say
taking no
they're
receiver
taking a
next year.
receiver next year. I mean, I would love to see that happen, but if we trot Bryce Young out there with the same weapons we
It
just
better be the
had,
second pick. It better be the second pick.
Hey, look.
I'm willing to make it the third or fourth pick. I'm just
Listen,
being
this is
honest.
what I'm gonna look at, Claire. Claire, look at this. Think about this.
Go ahead.
They're drafting receiver regardless. Because look at this. We
Yeah.
got Coker, we
Yep.
got Thielen,
Yep.
We got Excel.
Mm-hmm.
We got David Moore.
Yep.
We came into the season last year with, I think it was 7 wide receivers on the 53-man roster.
Mm-hmm. And one of them was Deontay Johnson, who's not here.
Yep. So y'all got to think about this. I think that they would at least keep 6, so that means that we're going to need 2 more, and I'd rather draft one.
And the guys that we signed back, y'all, they're gonna be practice squad. So like your Dan Chisena, your there's another guy like somebody whose last name's Tremaine. I mean, guys that did not play.
This is what my absolute
6'3", 227.
No,
My God.
look, I got something for Claire real quick. Right after you say what you say, Nick.
Yeah,
hey,
so
I'll be happy as hell, Claire.
Listen, I'm gonna say this. I was hoping in my perfect world, we would draft a defensive end at 8, and at 57, Woodcock would be there. Jaden Higgins.
Mm-hmm. I've taken him in quite a few mocks. Yes. I've also seen Isaiah Bond now. He's now available there.
This dude just played me. So what I was gonna say, Claire, is if we traded back and got Nick Emenwari, and then we went after Nick, then we went after Higgins with our second pick.
I mean, it's not, and then use the second round pick for an edge rusher.
Then if you could get Knight, because he's gonna be available when we pick again in the third. Come on, bro. What?
Well, if you have 2 second round picks, you could just get Knight with that second round pick.
Nah.
You say nah.
I don't think Demetrius Knight gonna still be on the board in the third round.
I'm saying I think he might be. Hold on a second. Y'all go ahead. I gotta use the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that.
6'3", 227. And he's from Irmo. It's like not that far from where I am right now. When y'all start, I know there's a lot of people who get irritated about us bringing in hometown talent, and I know that there's a lot of Clemson fans that exist out there, and we don't really take Clemson players. As someone, put it this way, I'm Charlotte 49ers alum. We haven't taken anybody from there either, although we don't really get a lot of kids that go in the draft. But nonetheless, we don't, we had an opportunity to go get Larry Ogunjobi and bring him back here. Did that happen? No. So, my whole thing is that it comes down to talent. I mean, there are Clemson players who I would actually like for us to draft, like a Barrett Carter. I would love to draft like a Barrett Carter at linebacker out of Clemson. I was and kind of am still high on Jake Brittingstool, their tight end. But like South Carolina, we are wanting more defensive picks, and South Carolina just happens to be a team that is loaded
defense.
That is loaded with defensive talent.
Like almost their entire defense is in the draft this year.
Cheshire Cat, I know, I would be too.
I gotta be honest with you. If I'm Dan Morgan, I'm taking Nick Gaskins.
Nick Gaskins.
If Nick Gaskins, I would like. If Nick was one of our scouts, I said, I don't want you going nowhere except the University of South Carolina.
And just report back everything you see.
I don't want you going to another school.
Like, why would y'all be pissed if they took a receiver at 8?
I'm gonna be honest. And look, I'm sending Nick there.
So we need defensive help, bro.
And I'm sending another scout to who's the other team? To Texas. You ain't going but you stay in Texas the whole. I don't need you going to no other schools.
Just send Edge to Texas.
Just Texas. And stay over there. I'm telling. Look, man. Both of those teams are loaded with picks. Well, I feel like it was one more team though, man.
Georgia.
But I'm talking, and Georgia. That's it. What all the people know, well, I'm gonna be honest, in that order, it would be South Carolina, Georgia, and Texas.
Well, Twan, I'm telling you right now.
We
You
got
think this
all
defense on?
Giants coming out.
You think? I'm telling you right now. But you thought this defense was good for Texas right now? Wait about another year or two, man. We got 3 other players coming out, bro.
I'm not worried about y'all,
Hill?
man. I'm back on my
Oh,
FSU next year.
I'm excited to see
No.
what Patrick Payton's going to do
Yeah,
out of FSU.
yeah, we good next year.
Like Patrick Payton, yeah.
Oh, Hill
I
from
told y'all,
Texas.
I
That
told y'all
dude.
to get me.
That
Oh
dude was
yeah, Atlanta
playing.
boy. Facts. I didn't even think about that. Michigan. Yes.
I told y'all to get me while y'all could, because it's gonna be a different story next year, bro.
Yeah.
And guess what?
Twan,
We flipped Georgia. Like Georgia's their main running back that they're supposed to get, the 5-star. Flipped him.
Mm-hmm.
He's a Seminole.
I was
Claire,
gonna say,
when have you ever seen a running back that's 6'2" or 6'3", man? Dude is built like the
Derrick
damn
Henry.
Is he Derrick Henry-esque?
esque.
But no, Twan, Michigan. That's another school this year. I would say, like as far as like
I thought
defensive
Michigan
talent.
I thought they had more talent last year come out of that, for the draft. They got that cornerback. They got the old boy. They some what's your boy down defensive line? How am I forget
Who?
Mason
They got
Graham?
Mason
Yeah,
Graham and
Kenneth Grant,
Yeah,
Josiah Stewart,
I
Colston
ain't
Loveland.
nobody after that after Kenneth Grant, man. They got 3 of me. I'm talking about big time.
Oh,
But Texas and South Carolina and Georgia loaded, especially
yeah.
Georgia and South Carolina.
I said Josiah, Atlanta boy.
Especially South Carolina and Georgia.
Hmm.
And we talking about the defensive side of the ball. On top of that, you know what I'm saying? Look, bro,
I said
Georgia ain't have
Loveland
a
too.
whole lot on the offensive side, but defensively, because
Yeah,
if we don't, Philadelphia will. I'm telling you that.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So you got some teams, if you study them, that love certain schools, man, and target. You know, what I mean, it's no secret that
And
Philadelphia loves the University of Georgia.
it's
Why
no
wouldn't he?
secret that Carolina loves drafting kids out of
South Carolina.
South Carolina.
They sure do.
They won't even draft. We've never drafted anybody from Clemson.
Cheshire Cat, are you talking? Okay, who out of the Tar Heels?
If they ain't talking about the running back, I don't want to hear
Yeah, if it's not
She's probably
Omari and
talking,
Hampton, because
about the running back.
yeah,
it.
Amari
Back
and
is a
Hampton
beast.
is yeah.
He different. I think I'm gonna be honest with you guys, man. I like
He
Amari
can,
Hampton better than I like old boy
I,
coming out of Boise State.
I was gonna say Omari and Hampton has been taken before Genty in a couple of mocks
Yeah,
recently. It's not unheard. I could see it.
Amari is a beast, yo, and
Yeah,
Yeah.
he built the part.
yeah. That dude, he's going. God, I can't even imagine where he goes to when they pair him with another running back. Dear Jesus Almighty, it's going to be like, who is it? Who is it with the Lions? Help me, y'all. It's Gibbs and who?
Gibbs and Montgomery.
Yeah, Sonic and Knuck, or what is it?
That
Sonic and
wouldn't be
Knuckles, they call him.
Yep.
Dear
Yeah. It's
God,
Sonic. It's
that
Sonic and
wouldn't be
Knuckles.
fair.
that would not. Yeah, sending him. I'm not even going to entertain it because watch, it'll be a team that we play this year, and we're just going to get absolutely smacked.
But tell me this, y'all. Riddle me this. Riddle me this. Was it that Carolina? Was it that our DNA was always that 2 running back system? We got away from it. We losing like hell. But every team that really kind of got back into the 2 running back system are doing well with it. That used to be our DNA. You
It
know,
used to be.
everything that we try to do different now has not been successful for us because we got away from what we've done best in the past. Now, like we've been mainly a 4-3 defense. We got out of that, try to do something different. It ain't been the
Mm,
same.
and we've
It,
always
it,
had a smash and
it,
dash.
it started with Cam, but it ain't in there. We tried to change up everything we did. You put Atlanta boy up here, man. Atlanta boy, what's going on? Got to take yourself off mute.
Either way, I thought when Deontay Foreman and Chuba were doing their thing, I was like, "Oh, here we go. It's coming back." Nope.
Atlanta boy, you on mute.
Ugh.
Hello.
Yeah, what's up, bro?
Hey, what's going
What
on?
up, man?
Yeah.
How y'all doing?
How you been?
Man, I'm
Good,
good,
bro.
man. Y'all talking some real spicy shit today, man. I
Bro,
just heard the end of it from what y'all was talking about the Imamori guy. I'm like, shit, that don't sound bad at all.
Well, that could be a good thing, bro. Like, look, it could
Great,
be
man.
dangerous.
That sounds great.
6'3",
But,
230,
boy.
running a 4.3 is insanity.
Yeah, that's like Sean Taylor.
Yeah.
Atlanta boy.
Yeah.
You also gotta look at it like this.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
If Evero was gone, if Evero was gone, and we get another defensive coordinator in here that can actually play him the way he needs to be played.
Oh man,
bruh,
I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. If they take
I don't
that
think he
damn
can hear
Tech,
you.
if they take that Tech guy, man, I'm gonna be pissed, man. I'm gonna be really pissed.
At this point, I'll be upset too if we take Tech, because me and Claire, we've already told people it's another receiver out there just like Tech that
Jaden
Who's
you can get
better?
Higgins.
much later.
Yep. Jaden Higgins.
I
Yep.
told y'all that dude was that guy, man.
And Jaden Higgins can get off the line
And
faster
he
than
can
Tech,
get
bro.
off the line. Ted cannot get off the fucking line of scrimmage, man. When he get somebody physical, he gonna be a damn
I'm
stationary
about to
guy.
show him again. I'm about to show him again and
Oh,
again.
He can't do
and
shit.
guess, I'll do one better, y'all. He is just like Tet, but guess who has better separation yards than Tet?
Is he a bigger
Jaden
guy or
Higgins.
small?
Jaden Higgins.
He is better at separation against both man and zone coverage
He'll leave you
than
right
Tet.
there where you standing, bro.
Let me think.
He'll leave you right there where you
Kid from
standing. You saw
Between him and his partner Jalen Noel, dude,
yeah,
they're
that's a big
both
guy.
got two of them.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got two of them. But I don't see. At one point, I was entertaining the thought, well, maybe they could go offense at 8. At this point,
Yeah,
it does. I mean, they could, but it also is. As much as it started to make more sense to go offense with how they were setting everything up, looking at as Twan was saying, our DNA, what we've always been known for in the past. I know a lot of people are pissed off at a lot of the things that Dan Morgan has, done and said, and he was part of, certain things, whatever. Dan Morgan was also part of that Cardiac Cats DNA that Twan is talking about. And if he can go back to his roots from when he was a player and bring that into Carolina going into this draft and how he's done in free agency, I'm just saying.
Nothing stopping him from doing that, though.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. So maybe instead of everybody wanting to go TW, because I refuse to say his name, Ted McMillan, all that. I think going edge rusher, I could so see safety though.
Man, you can
I don't
say
care how
TW
much
all
of
you
a
want.
reach.
Yeah, I'm trying to that Nick makes sense. Hey, Atlanta boy,
What up?
you looking at your screen, bro?
Yep.
Let me show you Jaden Higgins real quick. Look, let me just show you. Let me show you. Look, let me show you him leave this man
Oh
from the line
my
of scrimmage.
God! Jesus.
You ain't ready. You ain't ready. Look what he do from the line of scrimmage. How about?
Oh yeah, it's over. It's over.
Look,
Oh my God, dude. It's
look
over.
what dude is, man. Look what dude is.
Yeah, he don't have a shot in hell.
How's he gonna catch up?
Hey, Jaden Higgins run what, 4.5, 4.6?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's damn near Drake London. I think he more fluid than Drake though.
How you gonna catch up, bro?
Yeah, he ain't catching up.
How you gonna catch up? Look,
Guys, he ran faster than Tet. He didn't run that slow. He ran faster than Tet.
That's what I'm trying to tell people.
He ran
better than Ted, man.
he ran a I'm showing he ran a 4.47.
Man,
Look,
I
man.
don't care about no 40 speed. It's all about game speed with me.
You think number 31 let him do that? He out there trying to win a position too.
Man, it was over with.
What is that? What's that thing? I can't remember. People always add it to like their Madden shit all the time, where it's like that little that voice chip or that voice over that says broken ankles. That's like just what we just watched.
Oh man.
Just,
I would
Yeah,
have loved that day, man. I would have told 31, you ain't got a chance, bro. Just go ahead
yeah,
and pack your stuff up, and nobody gonna pick you after they see this.
yeah.
I don't know what that was.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man.
Look at the referee jogging over there. Look at the referee like, yeah, I ain't really. It's self-explanatory. I ain't got to do a whole lot.
I haven't really paid attention to South Carolina unless we're actually
They loaded.
playing them.
They are
I
loaded.
didn't see I didn't see a lot of those players jump off the field like that against my dogs.
Shoot.
But you know what I'm saying? Other games, I gotta go and check and see how they are, man.
Who you want to
It's
see?
just let me see Demetrius Knight.
All right, I'll put him up. Hold up. That didn't make no sense, man. If I get beat that bad, I'm going home, bro.
Ooh. Oh.
I'm going back to my hotel. I'm going back to my hotel room, bro. I'm gonna tell everybody I was sick. I ain't feeling good.
Yeah, until they see that camera work. Until they see that
Yeah.
camera, like, well, that was you. Nah, that wasn't me, bro. That's somebody else, bro.
I'm like, he beat me because I wasn't feeling good, man. I gotta go home.
I was
That
holding
would
my
be my
stomach.
excuse.
I was holding my stomach, man. I had the BGs, bro. I had the BGs, bro.
That would have been my
Couldn't
excuse.
do it.
All right, here we go. Got some Demetrius Knight highlights. Why did I stop the? I'm being stupid out here. All right, let me start them from the beginning. I gotta get the ones off Twitter so I don't get hit.
Okay.
Yeah, that's against Alabama. You going down? They're putting a circle around him. All right, there he is.
Okay, so
And he
that
made
was a
him
good
fumble
play.
to the house. He took on 2 men right there. Come on, man. He is a good enough linebacker. This ain't against no bums. This all SEC teams.
Yeah, that's what I want to see. I want to see him get, SEC teams. You know what I'm saying? I want to
That's
see him against
Alabama.
no. Yeah.
This is yeah.
This Alabama. He dropped back in the coverage on that play, and then he got the quarterback. This against Alabama.
That's
He just
Oklahoma.
gave Jalen Oklahoma. He gave Jalen Milroy a day. What was this? This Alabama. I can't tell who that team is. Who
Was
was
that
this?
Kentucky
That's Ole
Kentucky?
Miss.
or Ole
That's Ole
Miss?
Miss.
This LSU
That's
right here.
LSU.
Yeah, sure.
You ain't going nowhere.
Oh my god.
Yeah, man, this boy right here, bro. Huh? Man, look, bro. This draft is loaded. If you don't get your guy, you better have at least 2 more behind him that you can get, and it ain't gonna be no drop off.
Let me see Kyle Kennard.
I like Kyle Kennard too. He kicked a 65-yard field goal. No way.
Ooh.
The kicker from Miami at his pro
Who
day.
who Andreas?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like him. That's our kicker right there.
65-yard field goal.
That's what we need. We need at least to be able to kick 50 plus, 55 plus nowadays. Shit. But we don't move the ball like that. So we need about 55 yards. Shit.
First of all, Kyle Kennard ran a 4.7 and then a 4.6. at the
So he
combine. All right.
so he gonna be 4.67, 4.68 range.
All right. All right. Here we go. Let me start it from the beginning. All right. Off that edge. It ain't all about sacks too, man. It's about these pressures.
Oh yeah,
Start.
I mean, I just need somebody who jumps off the screen. I necessarily gotta get set.
Boy, they been giving Alabama hell in these hallways.
Man, Alabama and all that, man. They offensive line is trash.
Hey, it's still Alabama.
Exactly.
That's intentional grounding right there. LSU. He got to bring that tackle up, son. They ain't gonna let him tackle that low in the next leg. Man,
I didn't know Kyle Kennard was as tall as he was.
that tackle didn't look. That tackle at Ole Miss. Let
How
me run
tall
that
is
back.
he?
He ain't have a chance, bro. Look at this right here, Atlanta boy. I think it's the next one. Look at this tackle right here. He took on. Man, get out, man, please.
Yeah, he looked like Greg Little.
But see, look, he ain't just trying to get around these guys. He run through them. That's a real edge, bro.
He just bull rushes.
Man, if you don't get out my way and come here, that's intentional grounding.
It's that Terrell Suggs shit. Just bull rushing.
That T Sizzle, bro.
That's the
That
type
bull
of DNs.
rush.
That's the type of DNs I want. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can spin and all that cool, but I need you to apply pressure to them tackles so you can push them into the damn quarterback. You know what I'm
Boy,
saying?
it's about to be two different Carolina Gamecocks. One in Charlotte and the other college. It's gonna be the college and the NFL team, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
Who else?
Trying to think who else they had on that defense.
As far as that, as far as South Carolina,
I know you don't want to see Nick.
what?
I know Nick.
Oh, Eamon Warren.
You can
Yeah.
show.
Gonna take it to the house.
He gonna take everything to the house.
Cheshire Cat. I'm confused.
All you need to just wonder is him back there with Murray.
Can Nick?
I don't know what you asked, but yes, he can do it.
Cheshire Cat goes, it's not possible for the Carolina. It's not possible. Carolina Panthers can draft two Gamecocks, Jalen Walker first round, and Nick Eamon is not going to be in round 2. It's adorable that you think that, though.
We ain't talking about getting them in round 2. We're talking about trading back and taking them first.
I'm reading what Cheshire Cat put.
I know.
He's saying get Jalen Walker first.
All these drafts all these mock drafts have them going to the second round. That's why people saying that.
Not anymore.
Not really. I was going to say there was a mock draft. I think it was Daniel Jeremiah's. He had Nick Eamon going to the Dolphins, and Malachi Starks dropped.
That's even better. We can trade back and get his in.
All right, here we go. This Nick right here. Come here, boy. Let me take that.
That was nasty.
I just 6'3" is insane for a safety.
Let me get that one too.
It wouldn't shock me, Twan, if he used to play. I feel like he probably used to play linebacker at some point. Ain't no way.
He definitely played offense. You could tell by the ball skills.
Oh, this to the house right here. This to the house.
Oh yeah, he put the Jets on. Yep, here it goes.
Oh.
He gone.
He played
his own teammates can't even catch up to him.
Boy, that was a 103-yard return, bro. Let me get it about you. Dude finds the ball all the time, bro.
I like that. I like somebody who's always around the ball.
Oh no. What? Who's this?
He turned around at the last minute and located that ball too, bro. Let me get it about you. Yeah, he's something like a beast, bro.
Huh?
He's something like a beast.
What was the all SEC honors?
Yeah, at
Let's
safety,
see.
you ain't even got to look, Claire. He was all SEC.
I'm just looking just throughout his whole career, just in general.
I'm
Hey, Nick,
saying,
that's
Second.
was
just
that his
I'm
one
gone.
Hey,
year or
hey,
what?
hey! I ain't trying to take it away from you about Malachi Starks, but 6'3", 230 pounds,
And he ran a 4.38.
a
God almighty.
4.38.
But look
You
right
can't
here. You
teach
can see the
that in
14 right
wrestling,
here.
man.
Look, man. He
You
out.
can't
Look,
teach
I
that.
turned the Jets on him right there, bro.
He was
Yeah, you can't teach that.
Oh,
That's
to add to
crazy
that,
work.
he also made first team All American
Mm,
Oh,
and
so he
first
all
team All
okay.
SEC.
done deal. I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
do we
he
need to
all
keep talking
American.
about it?
That's good.
And a 1-4. Oh my lord, that 10-yard split. Jesus.
was it 144? I think it was something like that.
Yep. One
Oh,
four
he's
four.
super.
You ain't losing
He's
him.
super quick.
I
This
don't
is
really
the
care
type.
about this. I don't really
This
care
is
about
type
the
of.
safety
This is
split
type
though,
of dude. You know
because
how you know how what you call like to play around and not go out of bounds. This is the type of dude that's gonna be on you so fast that you better step out of bounds.
Yeah, I need somebody that's gonna bring the pain in the secondary. Everybody is so damn soft. Only person you had was Xavier, but he always be late and then try to hit you. I need somebody. You go across that middle, you better think twice. Tight ends and all. We
that
need
ain't
an
hey,
Nick.
enforcer like Detroit. You know what I'm saying?
That ain't
Prince
him.
there.
hey, I'm gonna let you know something. We already got that dude.
Yeah, more.
Maury hit daggone Tommy Tremble so hard, what's it called, and got up and looked at him like,
I don't know who the fuck you thought you were, but that's kind of how he looked at him.
I know he thanking him that he on the team with him now, bro. He almost cracked his helmet.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was fun.
It's just how you. Oh, that was fun.
Mm, Man, look, man, Carolina, it's not that hard, man. You just gotta find a you just gotta find a trade partner, and that's what I'll be working on for the whole next month. We good, bro. No, Dan Morgan, you gotta start getting accommodated with these people, and don't fall for the okey doke this year. I don't think you're gonna do that. Don't take somebody's garbage.
Don't fall for the okey-doke.
People
Oh.
love calling the
Hey,
Carolina first. Like, man, look, I give you 3 4s for y'all first.
And we would
hey,
be dumb
Twan.
enough to take that crap too.
Panthers be
Hey,
like, oh, it's a good deal.
nah, it's a horrible deal, bro.
Y'all don't do
Horrible.
Dan like that.
Tell Dan
Oh
don't do
well.
us like that.
I mean,
Please, Dan, don't do us like that.
I mean, it's
Oh,
it's just kind of hard to fuck this up, man.
well,
I, I
listen.
I
So
feel like he's gonna fuck it up, but it's just hard to fuck it up.
it's
how
hard
do
to.
how do you feel like he's gonna fuck it up? Like, what is he shown that it makes him feel like he's a fuck up?
Well, a couple of
Nick, that's
free
how
agent
we've been.
signings.
Huh?
Nick,
You,
the
you
reason why I let
pay,
got
you
no
pay.
confidence in the Carolinas because we've been doing this crap, man.
Yeah, that ain't nothing new.
It's not new.
What I said? What did Dan Morgan do to make it seem like he's a fuck up?
That drive that he did last year wasn't all that, man. I'm
Dude,
sorry.
I
I've
mean,
been saying it.
at the end of the day, I don't care. I understand you can't predict injuries. You can't predict
Well,
you can't
don't
predict
pick,
injuries.
don't pick the guy that came off of one either.
Listen, at the end of the day, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But you can't predict injuries, and I ain't gonna take that from him. And I think that Trevor Wallace is gonna turn out to be a really good pick. Uh, shoot, Coker is gonna
Man,
turn out to be a great undrafted. Listen,
Oh, I forgot about their defensive lineman, Twan, in South Carolina.
oh yeah,
TJ Saunders and Tonka
yep,
Hemingway, both of them.
Sanders and I like Tonka, bro, and you can get him late.
listen, man. All I got to say is this, man.
He'll be depth, but you know.
All I got to say is this. I don't think Dan's gonna fuck it up. I mean, I actually think Dan has done great things in this damn off season already.
He's been fantastic in the offseason, man. I mean, we got to get over our draft rules and our
Listen,
bad luck with
I'm just gonna say this. When has the last time a Carolina's GM has said they're gonna fix the offensive line and they actually do it?
None.
When's one is none of all of our guys said they talked that good game talking about, oh, we're gonna fix the trenches. The
Oh,
only
yeah,
person
I was saying none as in none of them have ever fixed it. My bad.
Yeah, they all said it.
listen, they all say it, and then Dan has been the only one to say, okay, I'm really gonna fix this offensive and defensive line. Is the only one.
Hey,
Like I'm like
I still give more credit to Tillis for that. Tillis, Dan Morgan said Tillis.
Tillis is
But
just doing the contracts. Dan is calling the people.
No, but Tillis still knows what's going on. Man, Dan openly admitted that Tillis pushed them towards those players, bro.
I mean, well, Tillis, you got to think about it. Wharton, Tillis was right there.
Man, look, Tillis is going to be somebody's general manager one day. You better believe that. Somebody's GM.
Let him stay where he's at for. Let us get good before he go.
Yeah, man. I mean, yeah, that dude is pretty good, bro. You know, it's the GM's job. It used to be the GM's job to handle all the contracts and all that. We got a guy for that. Anyway, man.
I mean, come on, man. Like, I don't know, man. Like, come on, man. We got to. I think Dan is gonna do great things in this draft.
Oh well, you know, I'm behind him, man. I hope he does, but I feel what Airline Boy's saying too. Gotta have confidence in the team, man, before you can get that. You get your hopes up that high, considering what we've done in the past, you know. And then you can't sell people on something that Dan Morgan did for 1 year or whatever, man. You gotta see it over and over and over. Because look, I know why we weren't successful, even though after he made all those moves, you know, we still lost. But I know that you have to build a ball on both sides, you know.
Yeah.
For some reason, other people can't figure that out.
Yeah, you have to, because I mean,
Like,
people are all so fixated on scoring points, man, that you don't feel like what team won the Super Bowl? The most complimentary team won the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, but they still can score points too.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They were that was the most complimentary team.
Yeah, we still need a receiver though.
I'm not. Go ahead, man.
Go ahead. No, you said, hey, that's good.
Nah, I mean, if you got something else to say, because I'm about to get us out of here.
Nah, you good.
All right, man. So I want to thank Atlanta Boy for dropping through, man. You know, I've been knowing Atlanta Boy for almost 4 years now, man. You know what I'm saying, bro? That's my guy, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We go way back, you know. All the people in the chat today, man. Miss Kitty for dropping through in the chat, man. Everybody in the chat, you know, our show is nothing without y'all, man. We don't exist without y'all, and if y'all don't come over here to watch, we're gonna just keep bringing y'all these fire shows where we're talking about football and giving it to y'all about football and debating about football, because that's really what y'all want to hear. We ain't the show that does all the arguings and fighting or whatever. That ain't us. They got shows for that though. But look, thank all of y'all for coming through. We'll be back here sometime next week, man. Probably be a morning show. I'll get with Nick Gaskins and probably Friday. I gotta get with Edge. I gotta go with my guys when they're available. You know what I'm saying? Claire will be in the chat. But last but not least, I want to thank my co-hosts, man. Edge, Claire, Nick, Great job today, man. I enjoyed being blue shirt torn today. I'm out, man. Look, Atlanta boy, get your shout outs, bro.
Oh yeah, man. Shout out to y'all, man, for doing a wonderful job like y'all always do, man. Shout out to the whole Panther Nation. You know what I'm saying? We'll keep pounding. I'm gonna watch the playback so I can get a little more intel what y'all discussing with this Julian Blackman
Appreciate
guy.
that,
Because
brother.
only Blackman I know is Justin Blackman. So we'll see if they relate.
Yeah. I don't know him like that
Uh,
either, man. So
yeah, Blackman. Yeah, that guy. That guy. Yeah.
it's on you, Ash.
Yeah. So, I hope they're not related because I had high hopes for Justin Blackman until he just yeah.
Only Blackman I know, and Nick Gaskins to know this is Morris Blackman. He, that's the old Spike Lee from the commercials, man, with the Jordan. And the other Blackman that I know is my man that was with Cameo. They used to have the dick print shorts.
Oh God.
Man. Well,
You-
anyways.
yeah, that's M Blackman right there, bro. Shout out to him, man. It's like
Yeah, well, anyways, shout out to everybody who came through, man. It was such fun doing this whole show with you guys. Hey, it's gonna be all nice, it's gonna be all good. I am working on one. I'm trying to figure out what I got. Trying to figure out what I want to talk about. What's deemed.
Yeah. We waiting on that show like we waiting on Detox by Dr. Dre, man. When is it gonna drop?
When it's gonna drop? Whenever I have a chance to be off.
All right.
That me?
Nick.
And that's it.
Me next. Oh, go ahead, Nick.
Yeah. I also want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat.
He went right to the Quiet Storm voice.
Everybody's in this chat, and I want to get.
Yeah.
Then I want to give a shout out to Nick Imawari. Come on to Carolina, bud. Come on.
Yeah. Y'all sold me on that today, bro. I'm sold. So
Yeah,
y'all
like
already
you
know
was
how these drafts gonna go now. I'm trading back for Nick.
Yeah, Twan. You sold just like you sold on Jamie Robinson. Now look at you.
Oh, stop it.
Jamie Robinson was in the 5th round, and that was Everall's fault. Don't blame it on Jamie.
Me now?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's on you.
Oh, shout out to all you awesome people in the chat. Yeah, real H. Yeah. He visited earlier today along with Marcus Williams.
And shout out to Jamie. He had the Cuba the Cardinals. He got picked up immediately.
Anyway. Thanks, Twan.
Try to put the umbrella on my guy.
So, shout out to all you guys in the chat. You guys are wonderful. Love the engagement. Shout out to everybody who came through, to Atlanta Boy for joining us. If you guys ever want to join whenever if you guys, just we'll put the link in the chat once we're all done doing our opening statements and whatever. But thanks to everybody on the panel. Love you guys, Twan, Edge, Nick. Blue shirt Twan needs to go back in his box now and not come back out for about another month.
Nah.
He said, nah.
Y'all haven't even met Pink Shirt Twan yet.
Oh God. oh no. Oh no. Anyway, it's a pleasure as always. That threw me for a loop. I don't know why.
I know some guys out there. Wait a minute.
As always, it's a pleasure being on the show and doing the show. I just can't wait. It's weird because I can't wait for the draft to be here, but at the same time, I can't wait for it to be over because the stress and anxiety is killing me with not knowing how this is going to go and how it's going to fall. Yeah, guys, we were at such a rock bottom place last season that the only way we can go is up. So for the first time in a long time, I guess I'll freaking say it. Keep pounding.
Keep pounding, man. Hey, look, man. Shout out to the real HHENT. He said he visited along today with Williams, walked away with no deal. So it seems we're not going to sign either. Yeah, I mean, I hope that's the case. I really do. 704 Charlotte Show. We out.